Oh, everyone actually is themselves. Perfect. Overlay worked. In a once golden land, now ashen and mourning, heaven clashes with earth, and a name scattered on the winds of chaos is spoken once again. Our heroes stand in the shattered ruins of Goldenroot. Once it was a center of worship to the Huldra, the dusk elves of the Autumn Court, but the power of wild magic laid it to waste. Now the quest for the Book of Dawn stands in the eye of a storm, surrounded by the powers of sovereigns and infernals, and in their company is a bizarre child reborn from that chaos. Now they must decide what to do, for they are surrounded by the forces of the fairy courts, and they still have a wedding to attend. Welcome, everyone, to Casters and Castles, Arc 4, Episode 3. I'm Tormented by Gnomes. I'll be your Dungeon Master this evening. If you're just joining us, Casters and Castles is an actual play channel featuring talent from the esports and tabletop gaming communities. We're in the middle of a long-running campaign, and if you missed the last episode, I feel really, really bad for you because this will
now make no sense.
This is not the entry point. If this is your first episode, go back and watch like episode 1 of this arc. Oh my god, no! No!
That's 2 active gods already. We need to restructure the system.
We're literally never leaving this clearing.
Yeah.
Or we'll all die first.
Yeah, they're just setting us up for the team kill.
I have 5 hit points left.
Okay.
You're same.
Oh, yay! And
Let's
we're the 2 who know how to heal people. Light and Alika used her last. Yeah. Okay.
Look at all the cards.
let's recap here real fast. So, when we last left our heroes, you were in Golden Glow, which was this druidic temple dedicated to the Huldra. It was a sacred ley line of Arakura, the Sovereign of Earth, and this is where Lysha Norwalyn spent her youth growing up and learning the druidic traditions. It was annihilated by a huge wall of fire caused by a wild surge in the heart of Dotan's Rock about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. You arrived here because a great fairy wedding is going to take place, to which you have been invited, and if you can get in good with one of the 3 Archfey who will be present at the wedding, you can get one of the relics that you need to gain access to the hidden kingdom of Cryas to steal the Book of Dawn, which is our actual quest. Just in case that's been forgotten. However, upon your arrival here, Vindor, Sovereign of the Skies, was still mad at Allan O'Dale for stealing the golden bough from his garden. And so he sent a thunderstorm to smite Allan, even as you tried to dislodge the elemental forces of fire that had become sort of embedded in the ley line. Allan, very reasonably, I will point out, took cover behind the sacred stone at the heart, because, it's a big rock, right?
Yeah.
And the rock exploded because it was an incredible amount of elemental air energy interfacing with its opposite, which was an earth ley line, which sent out ripples of magical chaos, and then chat just annihilated us with acts of God. So the way we're justifying this is that the interaction of the 2 opposing forces, again, sort of destabilized the local magical what's-you-call-it, allowing all sorts of different gods to intervene. Vindor sent a group of the Knights of Terra Nimbus because his connection to the place was broken and he couldn't smite your ass into bacon anymore. So he sent them down, a fight broke out, and then just one thing happened after another. And when the fight ended, in the middle of this, the chaotic spectral shade of Tiberius fucking Wanderstave appeared. He thought that maybe he could summon his body back, because he assumed that he had a body, which, isn't always... There are disembodied entities in Anakra, so it wasn't a sure shot. So he opened a gate and attempted to summon himself, which resulted in him appearing, a new body for himself appearing as a baby with a huge flowing beard and a mustache. The baby apparently had Tiberius's mind until the power of Ramius, Overlord of the Dead, flowed across the battlefield, and the waters of the river Lethe wiped memories clean from people. This had a couple of effects. 1, Alika forgot the events of the last 24 hours. 2, Korok the Druid, who is a Huldra you've met before, who had shapeshifted into a bear, forgot he's a Huldra, he thinks he's a bear.
He's fucked. he's fucked.
3.
Hey,
Go ahead.
does Alika forgetting the last 24 hours include her traumatic experience at the Court of Stars, or no?
Did you
I can't.
guys?
I'm not sure how long ago that happened
Didn't we
exactly.
spend an extra night there after?
You did. You
think
spent
we
some
might have.
time there,
Yeah.
so I think she still remembers it.
Oh my goodness.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kat.
I'm starting to realize that Castles and Castles is actually, let's see if these 5 people can find creative ways to get out of being fucked over every single episode. Or about a story. It's like, whose line is it anyway? Right?
Yes.
Everything's made up.
Yes.
The points don't fucking matter. We're just improving our way out of a large number of very improbable situations.
Yeah, but we're all almost dead.
Forget about the quest. The quest doesn't matter. Book of Dawn, yeah,
The
fuck
plot-
right
the
off.
plot's
Let's fight some more fucking Knights of Terra Nimbus that I can't hit. Let's go, bring them on.
We've already got 5 unicorns and fairies that are fighting
Yeah.
off.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we are going to
are persisting.
we are going to space this out a little bit just to allow the scene to progress. We will get in all of these acts of God, but we are going to give us a little breathing room before the chaos continues. I tweaked the hype train. That was the mistake last time I said, hey, there's a special bonus act of God if you trigger a hype train. And the hype train threat, we'd had one maybe once on the channel, so the threshold was set to easy. So it went from no hype
reached
train.
1,000%
Yeah, by the time the system even detected it, we were at level 5, like 610%. And now Tiberius is back and everything is ruined forever.
In your defense, he's a baby who doesn't remember himself.
Yes.
That was smart by you, Joe. Taking
I-
power out of Tiberius' hands.
I wanted a way to not just like brush it away so that nothing happened and it doesn't affect the plot, but also not give you a level 20 character, and also not make you run 2 characters, and also not completely overshadow and remove the spotlight from the rest of the party.
Yeah, reasonable.
We're finding a way.
Oh,
Over-
where's the cantaloupe, not your lip?
Oh, nice.
Okay, what was I
Ow.
saying? God damn it.
What
Chat.
happened with the baby? Because I can't remember. Like, the
Okay.
baby wanted to go with the unicorns, and then the baby forgot he was a baby.
And then you
And he
use
just-
then you
the
handed
baby
the
to get the
baby.
bag, distorting its like physical form by pushing it through the astral plane, and then you dropped it in a crater.
That was very cool of you, Josh.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
dropped the
handed
baby,
it to
right?
the Ifrit, and then you poofed the Ifrit out of existence, so
With
the baby
the wand
fell.
of wonder. Yes, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now the baby's just in the crater. Yeah,
There's
I like
literally
how
no way that those unicorns are letting you keep the baby.
Alan's core foundation of his being is to save children, and he's failed at that. well,
Like,
to
I
be
love
fair,
everything.
Core, it's just something that he realized he was maybe called to more than, just fucking everyone else over.
yeah. I was kind of torn because on the one hand, this baby had just magicked an incredibly important relic into who the fuck knows where.
After it
Mhm.
puked
So I'm-
fire on you.
Yeah, this was a bitch of a baby. This was
Bitch
not a
of a
nice
baby.
baby.
For baby, yeah.
It had a beard, Alan. That should have been a clue.
Still has
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And now, if I recall, one giant eye.
Yeah, because it got mutated by being forced through the astral plane. So one of its eyes is slightly larger than the other and
Oh
a little
my
bit out of
God.
focus.
To be
Really?
fair,
Very cool.
You
Lysha's in no
said you were
position
going
to
to
judge people
sacrifice
with
the
weird eyes.
baby. Remember, you did the dimension door thing, and you were like, I'm going to try to make it so I don't take the damage of deliberately teleporting into a solid object, but the baby takes it instead. So now the baby's mutated, Josh.
Whoa, I don't think I ever said the baby should take the damage.
Yes, I'm positive we
did.
have a
I
clip
think
of
he
that.
said he was willing to have the baby risk taking damage
Yeah.
because the bag was important. I don't actually, in your defense,
I
remember.
don't think I directed the damage to the baby. I would have been
Yeah, I
happy
thought they
to-
were both taking damage, but regardless, the baby's mutated. It's canon now.
That's
Well,
okay.
if
It's got a lot of stem cells. I'm sure it'll recover.
And a beard. It has that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so also Thoras fell unconscious, had twisted dreams of the one flesh.
Oh god,
and-
we didn't figure out what
Yeah.
the thing was, did we?
Yeah,
You
so
learned some shit though.
I was gonna give you like a cleaving attack, but then that Legends of Runeterra thing came out, and they have basically what is it, Nautilus, the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
they've got a barbarian for him, so I was thinking of giving you that ability instead. Basically, when you rage, instead of frenzying, you can extend a tentacle and pull people towards you.
It's pretty
Or-
badass.
Okay.
In
okay.
your case, it can either be like a tentacle, or your arm just suddenly stretches and extends supernaturally, like a
Monkey D. Luffy.
Mhm.
yeah,
Like Space
Yeah.
Jam.
like Space Jam. Yeah.
That's the normie reference, Josh.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know what you said. Like anime. That's all I heard.
Actually, can
Monkey
you
D.
get that
Luffy.
reference? I'm calling you out.
What was
What?
the reference?
Oh, like Monkey D. Luffy.
I have not seen a single
No.
episode, but I did get the reference.
Bryce! Oh, I guess that's good enough. Yeah.
A story for another time. I did not grow up with anime or television. I was very homeschooled.
I didn't grow up with it either. I just watched it when I was an adult.
Mm.
I didn't grow
Hey,
up with
that's fair.
anime either.
No,
I
that's
didn't
not
watch
true. I
my
did
first
grow up with it.
episode until I was like 20.
One
But
Piece
now I
was
love
my
it.
first anime, so there you go.
All right.
Mm,
Oh,
one of my first.
my first was Cowboy Bebop, so it was all downhill from
Yeah.
there. Just kidding,
That's
I
a
still
Food
love it.
Wars.
That's a tough
Food
Food
Wars.
Wars.
Was my
Ooh.
first
I-
anime.
Food
I
Wars
showed.
is the good shit.
Unpopular opinion: Food Wars is overrated.
Oh yeah, this coming from the person, by the way, who started watching Food Wars by starting at season 3, right during all the Shokugekis.
I
Didn't understand what was
definitely
going
thought
on.
it was the beginning of the
Look,
season.
what?
First
Everyone
season,
is
it was a
Shokugekis
mistake.
all of a sudden. I'm like, oh my god, you missed all the exposition, everything. Like, it's just forget about it. Because you know how like season 2 or 3, yeah, whatever. Anyway, we'll talk about that.
We're
Anyway,
trying
it's
It's
so
just a whole lot of people having orgasms while they eat food, and that gets
Yes!
old. I'm sorry.
That's the whole show.
I'm sorry.
Listen, it's all about the umami. All right, if it's not umami, it's gonna win.
Oh, we were trying so hard to avoid these 2 more acts of God that are already on our plate. Three acts of God? Because we hit a 30, a 40, and a 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 acts of God.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of that happened. Sin sent an Ifriti to appear and say, that baby is the most dangerous thing in the 4 kingdoms. It needs to come with me. You waved what you think is a baby rattle that is actually a piece of the Archmage Arnolane's staff that was shattered when Tiberius summoned a Chardalon into the world, pointed it at him, banishing him immediately.
I didn't mean to. I was just shaking it at him.
Yeah, you know the dangerous magical
So
artifact
much
that
for
does weird
Sid being
stuff.
on our side.
You
you know.
you had like 1 sovereign in your court.
Not anymore, Alan.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's take a look at what we still got. Bells of Styx. That was the one that made you guys really hate the
It gave me
Terranibus Knights.
enraged. It gave Ashley enraged so she couldn't do anything. You could
Yeah,
jump on it with a
Just
club.
nerfed the
Yeah,
druid
nerfed me like
completely.
crazy.
All right. Let's see here. You started mutating, Eren, and you lost several of your hit dice, and you have the ability to drink blood until they're restored. So
Yeah.
you're down 3 hit dice. Aberrant Insight, Thoras passed out and woke up with a cool new move. For now, we'll say as a bonus action on your turn during a rage, you can attack someone who's 10 feet away and pull them towards you. We're just going to resolve it like that. I believe you also failed your save against the Bells of Lethe while you were in. We chat actually helped me go back and look at it, Thoras. So I believe that you
Oh,
failed your
jeez.
save
Mm.
and
What
forgot.
does that
the-
mean if I was unconscious at the time?
Mega.
You know, I think the most
You've
interesting
become a vegetable.
door magic. I think the most interesting thing to happen would be that you have 0 recollection of the time that your mind spent in contact with the one flesh, so you have no idea why you have this ability, and that lets me plant some spooky plot seeds for later.
Okay.
And I also can't interrogate you about the one
Mhm.
flesh, which I would totally want to.
And there was a time, like, it lasted longer mentally to you than what?
Oh, and we can't
no,
heal people
nothing.
with magic, right?
Correct. Because the firmament has prevented magic affecting life and death. In this
Alan and I are
instance.
going to die.
Just thinking about the potential issues of having a, I don't even know what you'd call Lysha. What are you, like a guardian, a fighter against the one flesh?
Mhm.
Like a
Something like that,
superhero?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. and then I
I've been
suddenly-
enlisted by Liban.
Yeah, and then I suddenly just protrude a tentacle and pull somebody towards me.
That
That's
was a
amazing.
ninja move, by the way, Ashley.
We're going to start fighting. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
maybe.
That was my caramel covered popcorn. Actually, it's zebra popcorn. Stuff's dope.
Okay, so
Not sponsored, but so good.
recommended. All right, so then Alika lost her memories. You don't remember being in contact with One Flesh, but you remember everything else. And Korak thinks he's a bear, which leaves us with the last two acts of God that had happened, which were the Pixies and the Red Caps. So, as we set our scene, you are still in the fucking Druid Circle, as you've been for the last 3 episodes.
A shitty fucking druid circle. This ashy fucking sand in your crack druid circle.
Mhm.
Listen, you. This is a holy place.
Yeah.
Was.
Yeah.
So, Tiberia summoned a bunch of unicorns that are now present and are very protective of the child. The Red Caps are incredibly violent fae who love stomping and beating things up, and they dip their hats in blood. The Pixies have all turned invisible. The Red Caps work for the Unseelie Court, of which the queen who invited you to the wedding is of the Unseelie Court. The Pixies work for the Seelie Court. The bride at the wedding is a member of that court. And last but not least, before all this, Korak was going to lead you to the hidden elven village of Lunasa, which Lysha knows how to get to, but has been shifted into the fairy otherworld to protect it from the fire, which poses a complication. Okay.
And Lysha has 5 hit points. So.
And Lysha has 5 hit points. I think that actually covers everything. Any questions?
Why, Joe?
Yeah, why is probably
Why?
my main question.
Look, I had a plot last time. I had a plot, I promise.
So, what is the scene here? What is Thoras looking at? Surrounded by 5
The
unicorns.
inside of his eyelids. He's
Yeah.
unconscious.
No, he awakened.
I'm awake, I think.
Yes, you have awakened. You've awakened. Allan, the baby is in the crater. Somebody just told the Red Caps not to smash the baby because they kind of wanted to. I think it was Lysha. Or
Me and I held up the purple flower.
That's right. You
invitation.
You,
Leveraged the invitation and had to roll an intimidation check.
Fine, we won't kill the baby. I was just gonna stop its little herring, but now you have the letter from the big boss. Sure, you're so important. Fine, whatever.
So,
I love their voices.
So the Seelie Court fairies have disappeared, right? Because I tried to start a fight between them just to see what would happen.
yes, you went full West Side Story and tried to stir up some trouble.
Gang war. Straight gang war.
Yeah.
So we have a standoff. The baby's in the crater. There's 2 opposing groups of fairies on both sides, and then you guys are scattered around with the unicorns, and you don't know how to get to the elven city you were going to travel to. What do you do?
Thoras will walk over to the baby and pick it up out of the crater of ash.
You have the bearded baby who looks bruised and a little bit, again, one eye's bigger than the other, and one of them's it's like a little bit watery and odd.
Be careful with that thing, Thoras. It belched fire at me. It's dangerous.
You are the ugliest.
Is
baby
Korak
I've ever seen?
bear still around?
Yes.
Yeah, he's next to you, but he's bear.
I'm gonna turn him into a bear. Go ahead.
How hard is it to tame a bear? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, I can speak with animals.
Can you tell him to be my mount?
No.
What's your
I don't
animal
know
handling like?
what the customs of the Druids of the Circle of Ass Wiping are. I just want to know if I could ride a bear into battle gloriously. I mean, he's a bear now. What good is he? Why?
Well, I'm going to try and remind him that he's a druid.
You talk to Korak and see how you go. If all else fails, let me know, and I'll put some reins on him or something. Listen, it'll look fantastic when I ride into battle on Korak. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm going to cast, now that I am no longer enraged, speak
Rude.
with, well, first I'm going to try and speak with Korak, because I don't know that he doesn't think that he's human or humanoid.
Right.
I'd say, Korak, the battle is over. You can return. We need you.
Sorry, come again?
Last time I did this, he laughed at me. But I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And attempt to speak with Korak the bear.
Yep, Bear here. How can I help you?
Korak?
But Bear.
No, Korak. Your name is
Bear.
Korak.
Roll a persuasion
You-
check.
Oh, God. I'm not the most persuasive, but we'll try. Did that carry over? No?
Nope, Bear.
Oh, God. Damn it. 8.
Nope, Bear.
Bear, would you like to accompany us to a special village filled with tasty treats?
He snuffles
A picnic
around.
basket?
Sorry, what? I was still a bear for a moment.
No, I said a picnic basket.
Hey, Eren Vol. Let's have a picnic.
Snuffles around, sniffs at the very confused river dwarf who's hiding behind a rock and just sort of wide-eyed looking around at everything. Growls at the red cap standing beside him.
This place is kind of bad. Smells
Yes,
like burning.
This place is bad, but we can go to a place where it's not burning. Would you like to come with us?
Yup.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yep. Bear.
She's gonna try and oh shit, Lysha's like a vegetarian.
Mhm.
I'll eat the bear. It's
I don't
okay.
have it. I'm not gonna feed you the bear. I was gonna try and get like some beef jerky for the bear or something, or bird jerky, whatever the heck we have. But I don't
Mhm.
have any of those things because I don't
bear-
eat meat.
I'm sure bears don't just eat meat, right?
Yeah, they're omnivores.
I don't have honey. But I'll look for some tasty fruits in my satchel. Maybe some dried fruit, and see if the
Alright.
bear wants it. Toss some to it.
Korak the bear is inclined to join you to get some food because this place seems pretty dangerous.
Bear acquired.
Mhm,
What
plus
of the
one bear.
unicorns? What of them?
The
Unicorns are milling
unicorns.
around?
They are. They're gonna. Since Thoras now has the child, they are surrounding Thoras.
This is
Ah.
essentially the plot of The Mandalorian we have copied, by
Yes.
the way.
Yes.
True. Thoras, I don't think those unicorns are all that pleased with your. Are you abducting this child? I'm not really sure.
Thoras is just protecting the weak. A small, ashy, holy crater is no place for a child.
Right. Well, I don't know if the unicorns want you to. Wait, Josh, were you speaking to the? Were you speaking to the unicorns before?
Unicorns!
I was, yeah.
Yes. The voices answer you in your head. Yes, large, smelly one.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
So how does this-
Offensive.
So
How do I take that?
how does this work? Do I just think and you can hear Thoras?
Yes.
Meat,
We're not going to. No.
and beer.
Glom, is that you?
Thoras, what?
Only the one
child.
head. Never mind.
The child.
Yes.
What?
I got
can
that
you-
reference.
Can you fix him?
Not here. We must depart this place. The firmament itself is sealing around the wound in the ley lines, and our healing magic is prevented.
I think it's best if you take the child. It's not wise to trust him around Allan. He's a little bit weird.
Allan, all 5 of the unicorns, like, you don't hear any of this. They all just turn to look at you, and then turn back to Thoras. Yes.
Thoras, what are you telling the unicorns about me?
What? Nothing.
I can tell you're talking to the unicorns. You're mouthing every word you're saying.
No.
You can't speak with your mouth shut.
No.
You don't possess the brain power.
Do you want a child?
Who are you talking to, Thoras?
What?
Thoras, have you ever looked after a young child before?
No.
Well, he seems pretty dangerous. Why don't we just give him back to the unicorns?
The unicorns, Alan. The grown-ups are speaking.
I'm sorry, Thoras, did you just call yourself a grown-up?
I'm gonna turn away from Alan with the kids.
Thoras, there's no way we're bringing a kid with us, right? I mean, we've neglected Olika every episode of all of these arcs. I don't know how we're supposed to take on another.
Hello, I'm still here.
Not planning on bringing the child. I'm trying to persuade the unicorn.
Sidekick? Don't you still love me?
I can still speak to the bear, right? Bear, will you allow this river dwarf to ride you?
Hello, I can talk to rivers.
Jen,
Yep.
I was just
See
going
the
to try and
lighting
lift
exchange.
Olika up and place him up on the bear.
This is amazing.
her.
I've never done this before.
Yes, let's focus on that.
Is it safe?
Let's combine our extra NPC characters
Just stack
to make
them,
it
just-
easier to manage.
And now, Olika, carry the child.
Yes, unicorns. I think it's best if you take this child away. Now, in ancient Goliath lore, I was told that the unicorns are a proud species, good in a lot of ways. Is that true?
It's true.
Because they're totally going to tell you if they're bad.
All of it.
Well,
They're neutral good.
I trust you. Here, have the child.
All right, Thoras hands the child over to the unicorns, who kind of look at each other for a moment as if they hadn't really thought this part through. How exactly are they going to take
Well,
custody?
I'm going to.
They
I'm gonna take the beard. I'm gonna take the beard and tie it around the unicorn's neck. And
How the
until-
hell will they untie it?
Okay, I'll undo that, and I'm going to take what was once my space silk suit, made of space silk, and is now grass. I'm going to
Yes.
rip it off and harness it into like a bundle, and also use my expert textile skills that I've developed,
The Goliaths are famous for those.
and try and fashion a sort of weave or basket to wrap the child in and over the unicorn's head.
Nice.
To
Okay.
be clear, are you naked now?
No.
Okay.
What have
you
you
said
got
you were
on?
going to rip off your suit, so I just...
I believe in the
Scary.
Holja lands, the term is skyclad.
Yeah,
right, excuse me. Are you skyclad now?
I have my loincloth as I usually did.
You were wearing that under your suit, I see.
There's
Yeah.
nothing out of the ordinary
Yes.
here. Yes.
What do I need to roll to weave a basket?
Given unless you have a specific tool proficiency, let's call it sleight of hand.
I have a horn.
Oh well, then you're
Yeah,
all
that'll
set.
help.
Yeah.
And
That
that
sounds-
one.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh god, the baby's going to fall immediately
What
through the
I'm
bottom of
impressed
your
by is that
makeshift
Thoris
basket.
actually has positive modifiers to sleight of hand. as the
Yeah.
Goliath. Wow.
Okay. So
Wait, wait a minute. Is this like Zoolander where he tries to pull his underwear off while keeping his clothes on? Like, is that
I don't know, man. I don't know.
that would be a more appropriate sleight of hand check, I feel.
Who knows?
you tie this. It's like it wraps around the kid like one of those swings, right? So the kid can sit in it, and it wraps around the neck of the unicorn, and that's all great. And you set the little one in there, and the unicorns go, "Yes, and now we shall depart through roads unknown to you, mortal kind, to a far, safe, mystical sylvan glen, where no harm shall befall the child." And the
Yeah.
child immediately inverts in the satchel and is dangling by its ankles with its face just dragging on the ground. They haven't taken off yet, but
I'm gonna run after the unicorn and try and fix what Thoras has shittily created.
and they all fade as they cast teleport with the magic of their horns, and poof, they're gone.
You think they maybe could
Wow.
have given us a lift?
You're gonna have a brain damaged baby.
Yeah. Thoris, I don't
Not
think
us.
you are very good at weaving. Please don't do that again.
Thoras is excellent at weaving. Best in the village.
Thoris, the baby fell
That
on its
doesn't speak
head.
highly for your village.
Goliath's not known for their crafting.
Yeah, apparently so.
Still best in the village, though.
I'm going to wander over to the red caps and after we've had this skirmish with the unicorns.
Well, I'm sure that's the last we'll see of that child.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not a plot device.
For sure,
at
will
all.
never reappear.
I'm sure it will never happen upon us again.
No possible consequences.
Yep.
You can assume, chat, because of Eren's extreme vanity, that if his ears are removed for whatever reason, they've probably been put back after any period of time because he wouldn't want to be around without them on. Especially if they're in a place he can retrieve them.
The ears stay on during.
That's it. Lights and ears, baby.
So who was walking over to the red caps?
Allan. Allan's going to not wander. He's going to regally glide over to the red caps, trying to draw himself up as large as he can.
Mincing in their direction.
Just remind me, because I'm trying to remember here. Now,
Yes.
I sort of remember something about, like, obviously when we were in the Court of Stars, I was able to get my hair back, and so was Allan.
Yes.
But then wasn't there an explosion that burned all our hair and our eyebrows off? Or am I remembering that incorrectly?
No, I think follicle status has been normalized for all party members.
Yeah, I think we're
Joe.
good there.
Follicle status.
There were a couple of more wild surges due to the presence of one Tiberius Wanderstave, but I think the major fallout was the magical starsuit got turned into grass.
Oh, yeah, rip.
It's actually really bad for Thoras because that was his way to look presentable.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he
Well,
gonna get
good thing
another
we're going to
Skyclad
a
suit?
Holdra village where we can make you look, well,
Maybe being
skyclad.
covered in grass would actually help your chances of impressing people.
Well, I'm too late. He used it to weave a very bad basket.
True.
And Alan, as you're walking over to the red caps, they are merrily reenacting the baby dangling by its feet. One of them has another one by its ankles and it's dragging it face first along the ground.
I'm gonna wander over.
He's like, my face! I'm a helpless child!
As I wander over, I'm gonna cast minor illusion of a thunderclap, and I'm gonna announce in my most booming bard voice. Yeah, there we go. And I'll kind of stride over and say, "Dribbly little red caps! The Lady Rowan has instructed us to use you to enter the other realm. You will guide us towards," and whatever the fucking name of the elf place was.
Okay, roll an intimidation
in the
check.
Fomhar Woods, right?
You're in the Fomhar Woods. The settlement was called Lunasa.
Oh, it's a nat 20, baby.
Oh my god.
I'm the most intimidating human being they've ever seen.
And they stop. It's just
What is the name of the place again?
Lunasa.
Lunasa.
Snap 2. Arrange yourselves in front of me in some kind of reasonable formation, you horrible little munchkins.
No, not like that, you idiot. You're standing on the crater. This isn't going to work at all.
Great.
Excellent. I'm going to position myself in front of them as well at the diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
You messy little red caps have just appeared here in front of us, and thankfully the Lady Rowan has a mission for you as well. We need to get to Lunasa, and you are going to be our guides. The pixies, you managed to piss off, and they've transported themselves away or gone invisible or something. So
I know how to get there.
Yes, well, the red caps will also be helpful, I'm sure.
Alan, your authority has been undermined. Roll another intimidation check, but with advantage for that natural 20.
Another nat 20. Another nat 20.
What the
What?
fuck? Intimidation. Of
Don't get any ideas, you little fucks. Don't ever undermine me like she did. She's earned it. She deserves it. You will not speak unless spoken to. You will stand in a line and you will guide us into the other realm.
Sir, yes, sir.
Nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Kill him.
And two of them start kicking the crap out of the guy who just talked for daring to speak with their metal trod boots.
No, please, not like this.
Have mercy on him. Let him stand. Let him stand. Actually, give him another few kicks and then let him stand. I must confer with my captain before we continue. Stay exactly where you are and continue looking at the big man. I'm going to point to Thoras.
Okay, they continue
As
to
I-
look.
I'm going to walk over to Lysha
Mhm.
because she knows, presumably, like the location because she was just talking about it.
Alan, you've never acknowledged me as our leader before. That's so kind of you.
You're like one tier below me, but that's okay. That's fine.
That's,
Do you know where this Lunasa place is?
I do. I know precisely where it was, and presumably it should be directly across the plain in the same spot.
And you're aware of how to get into the other realm?
I'm aware of how to get myself there.
Okay, well, we should probably keep the red caps with us then.
I certainly don't think it would hurt, though it might anger the pixies, which are currently invisible and may well be following us.
Well,
They don't seem to be nearly as scary as the ones that are currently been subjugated by Alan. By the way, the least imposing dictator I've ever set eyes on.
The ones currently being subjugated by Alan can be pretty easily dominated by waving around your purple invitation. So I
Is that a
disagree.
euphemism?
What is
No,
the
Shut up.
problem?
Shut up, red caps.
Thoris is confused. Do we just need to find pixies?
We should probably leave. I know I need to rest, and I would love to do it in Lunasa, any place that looks remotely like home, but which isn't burnt would be.
Yeah, I bet you'd love to do it in the NASA.
That wasn't even ordered.
I like these red caps. Yo, stick with me, guys. You'll be fine. Oh, okay. If either you or they know where to go, let's set off. I mean, Can I ride the bear? Can I attempt to climb onto the bear's back with Olika?
You may certainly try. Do you have handle animal? Animal handling, however it's fit these days.
No. Well, let's just see. I want. Yeah. No. Like. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can still
I-
make a
I
check
do.
one way or another.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Do you have advantage right now? Is advantage turned on? for some
No,
reason?
I hit it twice because it was delayed and when it came up. So.
All right. Well, we'll take the first one, which will work out for you. All right.
Come bear to war.
Okay.
Red caps, get in front. I don't want you at our backs, you pesky little blighters.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
And if you backs,
No, that we don't want them at our backs.
good idea.
And we already know the way, so if you decide to lead us in the wrong direction, we will kill you very slowly. Look at what I did to this guy previously, and I'm going to rip one of Eren's ears off. Yes, this and more will come to you.
Do the other one.
I take the other one off.
Do not hold my ear so close to these chicken morons.
Give him back to Eren with
Do
his
I need to
thanks.
adjust my gain? Am I blowing you guys out there?
no, I mean that was a good woo.
Okay.
Where
And
are
with
the
that,
pixies?
the party is going to head out through the completely ashen, barren wastes for, what did I say, like 5 miles, 10 miles, for a brief travel montage. And again, this area is the only thing that survived. I haven't done the math on how wide the wall of fire would be, but that's just where the actual wall of fire was, let alone the heat radiating off of this like 100-foot inferno that rendered everything nearby. So as you go farther and farther out, at first it's just dust, just clouds of ash, and your mouth dries up as you're walking through. You have to cover your faces with something, or it just gets into every single, and it burns. And then as you go, you start to see these haunting, pale white and burned to a crisp trees, like skeletons, like bones scattered across. Some of them have just little lumps, and then as you go further and further, you start to see more of these old bones of these trees, but none of the undergrowth has survived, and none of the wildlife in anywhere near has survived. And this goes on for miles and miles. Who here is proficient in survival?
Ooh,
half
me.
proficient.
I am.
Thoras.
Great.
Not me.
All right, well, let's just have everyone make a check anyways. Half proficiency. Basically, whenever I say, is anyone proficient, the bard can always say yes. Okay. You managed to travel over the Ashen Wasteland, toughing it out. Everyone roll a Constitution save as well. You got pretty good on your survival. There's no water to be found anywhere. Like, anywhere in the vicinity. Natural 20. Very nice. All right, 23, 23, 15, 18.
Oh, I see what's happening. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm clicking it twice unnecessarily.
That would do it. The old double click. Okay. So you make your way through and when you arrive where Lunasa should be, all you see is just more clouds of smoke and ash carried up. The visibility out here is awful. You can't go more than a few feet without getting another just cloud. Everybody roll a perception check for me.
Oh.
26?
That one.
Okay,
Thoras
so
and Eren are just like accidentally walking into the dirt.
just bonk, bonk into each other. Eren's got some like stinging ash in his eyes, and he's just fuck.
Just
Lysha-
rubbing more ash into your eyes.
Fuck. Ash and Josh. I said Ash because I meant Lysha, but I've got ash and smoke on the brain.
It's all right, it happens,
That's the scene. The two of you see almost in the rolling clouds of smoke and ash, you see glimmers of a verdant city built up in the boughs of this tree with this rich sort of reddish hue, living wood, and great golden, orange, and red leaves the size of my arm span, and just this whole city built up along these massive living trees, but it keeps vanishing, like as the ash clouds themselves part. You can see it through the haze, but when the haze clears, it's gone.
I'm assuming that's it then, Lysha.
Yes, and presumably it looks this way because it's in the Fae.
Ah, I've heard about this. It's like when you're in the desert and the thing that you want will flash before your eyes and then it disappears.
It's not a mirage.
I don't see any beer or meat.
Oh yeah, we're
Oh.
very far away right now. You don't.
Well, you're unlikely to find much meat, even where we're going. But beer?
Hmm.
Anyway, unless we kill this bear and eat it, and let's slap the bear on the flank.
Hey, this is my trusty steed, Allan.
Allan?
Hands off.
This bear is human.
Mhm.
Noid. Humanoid.
Yeah. I mean, it's got 4 paws.
Funny
It is
looking
currently,
human.
carrying me into the fray. So
What's
It also
a
doesn't seem to
steed?
be obeying the normal laws of druid lore, wherein if we did cut pieces off of him to eat them, he would revert into his normal form. So
So it's
I
all
literally
ethical.
was part of a party that once was it you guys who once asked if you could cut my spider legs off and eat them?
Yeah.
I don't yeah.
probably. Yeah.
That sounds right. It sounds
For a-
right.
As a food source, like a regenerative food source.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would probably rule that
pretty
since
smart.
you revert to your Huldra form after shapeshifting, I'd rule that any pieces of you do not linger behind but vanish.
Mm.
Now, Hydra burgers, on the other hand, because Hydras regenerate, that's a completely legitimate option.
Their
So
businesses set up where that's a thing.
Yeah, well, not anywhere nearby. They haven't invented franchising in it yet. You
You
can be the first.
right. Well, okay. If it's there but not there, how are we supposed to? Like, I don't even want to deal with these riddles. Just get me inside. Get me inside.
The
See
red
this
caps
ash-
will do it. One, you little munchkins.
Yeah, we'll do it.
You can see that ahead of us, can't you?
Yeah,
It's like
totally.
your Tsar commands you. Fools!
All right, boys, ready? Ready? Yeah!
Ah! They all run forward and run right through the cloud and then just stop on the other side.
It's kind of weird.
What are you doing?
Maybe, okay, let's go this way. Everyone, all right, line up, line up. Ah! They run forward towards another ash cloud where the city appears. I'm still in.
Sorry, it's I'm gonna do all my
Thanks,
intros like this from now on. Yeah, they just keep chasing from ash cloud to ash cloud.
Yeah, normally this works.
Come here, you silly buggers.
right.
Come here and line up again.
They all line up in front of you.
Are you telling me that normally, in order to transform from plane to plane of different dimensions, you simply run at clouds?
It was his idea.
They kick the guy who they've just been kicking the crap out of. He's now bloodied.
Wait. Do you guys
While
know how to
all this
get-
is happening,
Yes.
Lysha's going to start preparing the ritual, not the casting, the ritual for divination to see if she can find presumably what would be a portal or door nearby that would allow them into the other world.
All right. That is going to take 10 minutes.
Step back, everybody. Thoras has got this. Thoras is going to step forward and shout, "Hear me, Fae! It is I, Thoras, Giant's Bane! And I call upon you to let us in, please."
You're not looking for the Fae.
Thoras, I have an idea. Attach yourself to the spear and throw it at this city.
The spear
And
is still on
you'll get there
cooldown.
so quick you won't have a chance to run away from it.
The spear doesn't have any power.
He
That
may
is
have been
disappointing.
joking, Thoras. He
I
may have
would
been
have done it.
joking.
So,
Stranger things have happened.
Thoras, lights appear fluttering on the ground, surrounding your legs in shades of the sort of teals and blues, and they flicker and they float. And they surround him, all these little clouds of light, and they just circle around him. And as they engulf him in his aura, you hear a and the lights vanish.
That would be
Wow.
the pixies.
What
I think I
happened?
heard
Pixies
Thoras.
fucked with you.
They're not here? Wait, where
What?
am I?
What happened?
I thought it was
Red-
going to work.
Red caps. What was this? What happened?
Fuckery.
This is the
Fuckery.
Pixies. Can I sprout a tentacle in rage
Yes, you can.
and swing it wildly, searching for the Pixies that are invisible
Okay, roll an
in a
attack
circle?
with disadvantage.
What am I rolling?
Some helicopter tentacle action.
Just roll a normal axe attack for the time being.
Okay.
With advantage. Or no, with disadvantage. The opposite of advantage.
Mm-hmm.
An 11 and a 12. It just... So he... Now, do you sprout a tentacle, or does your arm, like...
The way I'm picturing this is, have you played Bloodborne?
I've
No.
seen people play.
You know, there's a boss called Mikolash who sprouts essentially a bunch of tentacles out of his face to attack you.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I'm thinking out of my chest.
Okay.
Just almost like a Cthulhu
Mind
one
flayer
flesh type
looking-
thing.
Hmm.
Like a bunch of tentacles just come out, and that's what grapples people. That's what it would have been as I start screaming and baring my chest.
Mhm.
That's what comes out of my chest as I walk around in a circle.
Okay, everybody. That happens.
Ritual forgotten. Lysha
Jesus
charges Thoras.
Christ.
I'm on a bear. You know,
What have you done?
Ah! Nothing.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move us because, I'm just gonna move us like down here. To represent the fact that you're still in an ashen fucking wasteland.
Mm.
And we can get rid of this poor Terra Nimbus corpse. He's gone. So let's see. They're all fucking here. You're over here. You're over here. Demanding access to the city. You're over here. You're over here. Great. Okay.
Has the tentacle disappeared after this, or is it still hanging out of his chest?
Your call, Bren.
It's disappeared. Just using it to try and search for the pictures.
So it's still there.
No, it disappeared.
It's disappeared.
And it
Oh,
retracts.
gotcha. What have you done?
What?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
What foul deal have you made with the one flesh?
What is the one flesh?
Do not lie to me.
Thoras, there's literally a tentacle coming out of your chest, bro. Like, I don't
Can
know. I don't
anyone
know what the
detect,
physiology of Goliath is, but I don't think this is standard.
Anyone detect lies here? Anyone?
Just generally, humans can, yes.
Thoras,
We can
Thoras
definitely
has no
check
recollection
perception
of
and
what.
insight.
Thoras does not know what you're talking about. Thoras does not know what the one flesh is. Thoras only felt like he could maybe find the pixies by reaching out and thinking about things.
All right, fuck you. I'm gonna cast hideous laughter on him, and I'm gonna try and knock him prone so that we can do some investigation of his chest.
What?
Would this be an insight check to see if I think he's telling the truth?
I will just go ahead and tell you that you cannot detect any subterfuge or subtlety or, much of brain activity in general in that direction. So as far as you can tell, he's being earnest. And Allan casts Hideous Laughter. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
Me?
17, Brent.
Yeah,
you gotta beat
he's
it.
hosing you down with it.
Fuck. 3. Yeah. I'm gonna cast that on him. I say, yes, very funny, Thoras. Now hit the deck, bitch. We're gonna explore your chest. And I'm gonna get on top of him, and I'm gonna. He only has a loincloth, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's his bare chest anyway.
You've
So I'm
mounted
just-
a man in a loincloth.
I'm gonna mount the man in the loincloth, and I'm gonna try and palpate his chest to try and find where this tentacle came from. Lysha, come and help me. He's got some weird beast inside of him, clearly.
Okay, I need you to do two
Pickles.
things, Josh. I need you to, one, roll a medicine check.
Okay.
You are tickling me.
13 medicine.
All right, as far as you can tell, his chest seems, one, very well toned, and two, doesn't have any weird hinges or holes or unusual movement beneath the surface. The second thing I need you to do is to draw a 30 sub-active god from the deck and just slap it on down on the board.
One.
We have like 5 hit points each.
Okay. What does that say? Wind at your back. For just a brief
Ooh.
moment, you move as swift as the wind while I'm on top of a Goliath.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so suddenly the wind changes, and you, I believe, are gifted with haste.
Okay.
That's pretty nice. Shame we're not fighting it.
Yeah. That's a bit of a shame, but okay. What does that allow me to
Listen,
do?
it could have been
Take 2
worse.
actions?
Yay.
I'm gonna be real with you. There's plenty of opportunities. We've got a 40 active god and 50 active god. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
there's-
actually, Allan is now enemies with I think every sovereign and every deity in the deck. So,
Yeah, that's true. I'm also going to shout at this point for Eren to pass over the if my medicine check seems to feel like by palpating the chest that there's no abnormalities,
Mhm.
I'm going to shout, Eren, for God's sake, while he's tied down, get the dagger. You remember the relic, the dagger from Dotane's Rock?
For once, Lysha is actually helping Allan. When you called over for her help, she came and stood on Thoras's
Yes,
wrist.
but how do I know this bear will let me get back on it if I get off of it, Alan? This is serious.
Fuck's sake, Eren, the bear doesn't matter. The bear's a bear. Leave the bear.
Eren produces a very looks like a broadsword. I think it's obsidian, if I'm not mistaken, or at least looks that way. And he brings it over to Alan and.
oh my god, are you
Listen,
going to?
if you want to kill him, I could have just done it in like Mortal Kombat.
We're not going to kill him. We're not going to kill him. But we need to excise this demon. Now, are any of you good at? Have any of you ever done surgery before? I've only ever done some minor surgery.
Oh, on myself.
I think we should bring him to my people, and they can help us exercise this.
You want to let a piece
one
of the one?
flesh.
You want to let a piece of the one flesh inside the other realm to the
No, you're-
Haldra?
You bring a very good point up. You bring up a very good point.
That's
may
pretty
have to
dangerous,
remove
boss. You should cut him open. Yeah, you should cut him open, boss. Can't let that happen. Nope, gonna have to slice him right open, right down the middle. Yeah.
What the
If none
fuck?
of you have ever done surgery before, pass me the knife. I'll do my best.
I mean, luckily.
Are any of
over
you
the knife.
are any of you higher than +3 in medicine?
I'm +4.
Okay, well then I would let you do it. I would know that you were slightly more skilled than I was.
Would Lysha want to do this?
I don't want to
Who is going
cut
to
him
restrain
open.
Thoras?
I
He's
am definitely
prone
not
at
the
the
strong
moment.
one here. What exactly is your goal here, Alan? You want what, a biopsy?
It came out of his chest. We make a small incision in his chest and we peer inside.
Get away from my chest!
I tickle him a little bit more.
I have an idea. If it is in
Thoras
fact a
have an
piece of the
option
one flesh,
here.
cutting off a piece of skin should transform it back into the one flesh. Let us try.
very, very well. I sit on his
Elijah
legs.
prepares to cut off his nipple.
No! No!
Why is nipple?
It's part of his chest and it sticks out. He doesn't
He's
need
not
it.
using. Yeah, he's not using it.
Oh my god.
Oh
Get
wow.
away from Thoras' chest.
Okay, I'm gonna rule that arranging this incredibly unsanitary operating space
You alright?
takes a round. Everyone, put yourselves where you'd be. The red caps, like, they all sneak up. They're like creeping closer. Like, yeah.
Yeah, chop that thing off, yeah.
I'm gonna sit on his legs.
Okay. Eren, Lysha, go ahead and place yourselves where you'd want to be.
I guess I don't want to be anywhere near this motherfucker, but
That checks out.
And hideous laughter only lasts for 1 minute, so
Yes.
we got to be fast.
I don't want to maim my friend,
I
but
can't do anything in this time. I just have
No,
to sit
you
here
can-
and take
you can-
this.
No, you can do something. That's why I was saying that it's going to take a round for like everyone to get into position.
I think you get another
Roll
save, right?
Roll a new wisdom saving throw. Just flat, no advantage, no disadvantage.
I mean, I'm not breaking out of this, am I? I've got +0 on my wisdom. I ain't breaking out.
Okay,
That's unlucky.
proceed with the nippleectomy.
No!
I mean, you could have said, Brad, you could have
way.
said that your arm just extended, which just seems like magic. But instead, you said it looked like a devilish boss from Dark Souls with multiple tentacles erupting from your chest.
Get
What do you
away from
expect?
Thoras' nipples.
What do you expect us to do?
Get away! Thoras has not done anything wrong. Thoras
Gag him, Eren. Gag him.
Thoras has done nothing. Nothing. I
Eren
never should have
Thoras,
done this.
Just tell me what you did with the one flesh and we don't have to do this.
Follow you fucking idiots. I never should have listened to Sid. Sid, where are you, you shit?
Oh my god, Lysha
Eren is
feels
going to
compelled.
attempt to gag him with a sock.
Okay. He's incapacitated, so I think you succeed. Wait,
Oh,
This is so against Lysha's character, except she's been compelled by Lee
Sag!
Bond to take out minions of the one flesh, and this was a piece of the. Oh god. Okay. Okay.
okay, roll a medicine check.
What, didn't I summon Sin? Surely I've said
Roll-
his name enough times.
Roll 1d100 4 times, Bren.
Oh, fuck. How do I type?
What are these
Gotta do
rolls?
something!
A
That's gotta
95
be
and a
good!
99.
fuck off. Oh, what?
Kidding me.
Yeah, and for the record, Alan, you just attacked his minion. Yeah, there's that.
Fuck.
Knife very closely poised, pinching his nipple, ready to slice it.
Please tell me Sin that comes into the scene with them sitting on me, gagging me with a sock whilst they're pointing Dotane's dagger at my chest. Please tell me that is the scene.
I'm not pointing it at your chest. I have your nipple pinched, and
Just
I'm
so you
about
know,
to slice
Dotane's
it off.
dagger is not a knife by our standards.
It's
like
very
a,
large.
It's a giant's knife.
Yeah, it is like a long sword.
Okay.
Can Can I even lift this thing?
Yeah,
not-
it's a long
great
sword. It's a one-handed weapon.
I would hold his nipple up while you two-handed slice at it if
Okay.
needed.
I'm gonna flex my pectorials to stretch my nipple so you can't pinch it.
Just make, make sure the nipples are
That
flush. You know what I mean?
athletics
Like,
Flex your pectorals.
like Johnny Bravo.
Oh, what is happening?
Oh, mama.
Eren,
Right.
First off, Bren, roll an athletics check. Aaron, draw a tier 40 act of God.
An athletics check to flex his
Oh my god, we haven't slept.
They are ironclad. Aaron, draw and then play the act of God.
Oh, fuck me.
Jesus.
Fuck you for swinging your tentacle. We could all be sleeping
Right.
now.
The
Okay.
Starless Market, an ivy-covered courtyard where Shadow Fae trade in lives.
Oh god.
Not
Okay.
nipples, lives.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, one more thing.
Oh,
Why, dude? He was just here, dude. Come on.
Okay. All right. Here's how we're going to do this. As he strains, just guffawing with laughter, but he strains to make himself as hard to maim as possible.
Did I get
And-
through that sentence?
as hard as possible.
And the red caps
Chop it off, chop it off, chop it off, chop it off.
the
Mm-hmm.
two things
Hmm.
happen. One, a pillar of fire descends from on high, manifesting itself in a very annoyed Ifrit, the Herald of Sin, who manifests, and he looks around, he looks for Allan, and he just, like, his eyes burn with wrath as he looks at you, and then he looks at and sees everything else that's going on.
What the fuck?
And at that moment, the red caps click their metal boots together and the smoke clouds in which the city of Lunasa shines so brightly change, and they grow dark, and the great tree vanishes, and in its place, in the shadows of the ash clouds, is an ivy covered courtyard, flagstones stretching in all directions. It is a completely colorless scene. It's all black, white, and shades of gray. This crumbling marketplace with a fountain at its heart that is completely dry with no water. Shapes lurk in the corners, and snippets of strange songs emanate from the balconies, and the smoke clouds blow over all of you. And suddenly,
Does this feel more corporeal? Are we? Oh, sorry.
you've been transported to the Feywild. You've been transported to the other world. And you are not in a good part of town. That scene that I just described, this dark courtyard, is now where you stand. The ash you were standing upon has been replaced with these cracked ancient flagstones. It is very, very cold. And as you look up, you see that galleries and causeways of this ruined ivy-covered city rise up in stacks and heaps all around you, and above them all is a pure black sky. Not a single star burns.
Well, so much for our chance to rest.
What the fuck?
There are stars on my cloak.
Those are the only stars anyone can see. Roll a wisdom saving throw, Thoras.
Not one. Wow.
You're still laughing in the middle of this scene. That's the saddest laughter. Okay. Thoras is laughing and still gagged and pinned. Lysha, we're gonna go Lysha, then Allan, then Eren. Lysha, what do you do?
Sin, he is infected by the one flesh. And she begins to slice. It's not all the way off yet. You have a cut right now. I'm gonna say it takes me a little time to get through. You tensed, you know?
Okay,
You just have a cut right now.
roll a medicine check.
Oh god.
You need to beat a 25.
I can't beat a 25.
Then
My
you need
medicine modifier's +4.
Then you need a natural 20. Okay.
Nipple is safe.
Clang, clang, clang. You draw blood. Like, his flesh is not literally stone. It is still flesh, and you do draw actually a lot of blood. But it's one of those, like, little cuts that's just a hell of a bleeder, you know? No real damage, but it looks awful. And as the blood just flows across Thoras' chest, he, 1, takes a single point of damage. 2, makes a new saving throw against the spell with advantage because he took damage. 3, the blood is just this sort of dark grayish color because there is no color in this place whatsoever.
Is that because we're here, or is that because of the one flesh? Are you infected by the one flesh? What is going on, Thoras?
What's the DC? He's still
It's a
laughing.
DC 17, man.
There's
There's
just
no
tears
way he's
running down
breaking
his
this.
face into the gag as you attempt to slice off his nipple. All right, Allan, what do you do?
You're back. Where did you go? Why did you go? The unicorns ran off with the kid.
What did you do, mortal?
What do you mean?
What
To this
exactly
guy?
did you do?
Do you
I'm
still
gonna-
have the wand?
Yeah. I didn't put it in my bag of holding. I just put it on my person. So I'm gonna pull out the wand again, and I just did this, and I'm gonna shake it at the Ifrit again.
Do you have the Wand of Wonder on your D&D Beyond character sheet? If so, it should be clickable. If not, just roll.
No,
a
I just
D100.
have equipment. It just says equipment.
Okay, well,
I
I'll
just added it
fix
there.
that in post. Just roll a D100.
11.
11. Let's find out what an 11 does.
I'm just gonna go. I just did this. It's just a baby rattle.
Okay. As you pointed towards him, it emits golden light. The only thing that isn't some hueless shade in this whole place. And you hear a chorus sing out. Oh! And an aura of power gathers around you, and it burns, making you shine like a beacon for all to see, as this might
Jesus.
coalesces within you and streaks forward, casting your shadow out, standing like a titan above this Ifrit, whose light is and fire is eclipsed by this burst of glory that emanates from you.
Yeah, that's not going to attract any fae.
Well, actually, here's the thing. None of you see anything. All you see is Allan's face just go... He is stunned and believes something awesome just happened.
Is that all it was?
That is what it says on the wand.
So I'm like, well, I only did this. Oh, oh, yes.
All the red caps look
Lost
at you.
his mind.
They look at the Ifrit. They look at you. They look at the Ifrit. They sort of give each other a shrug. Eren, what do you do? Once again, the everyman just...
Eren is going to remove Thoras' gag first.
Okay.
And then he is going to, obviously being aware that there has been a significant change in surrounds, he is going to now try and see if there is any threats, or he's going to look around. Like, what the hell's going on? He's trying to see if there's, where these fairies are. He didn't know what just happened.
Roll a perception check. 8. Okay. It's a little hard to see anything or make anything out. And honestly, you feel cold and isolated and alone. Everyone's around you, but something feels very wrong. It's that primal fear that you get when you walk out beyond the boundary of the village at night, and there's strange sounds, and you can't see a single fire or hearth anymore, and you're completely and utterly alone. It is disconcerting. Something feels wrong. It feels wrong in your very bones. You hear voices calling out to each other, and their sounds echoes across various ivy-covered pillars of this courtyard, this broken down ancient marketplace. And they sing to each other in voices that call and respond, little lines here and there. What languages do you speak?
Right. Can I ask the red caps what is going on or where we are?
Okay. They give
What
you...
languages do you?
Yeah, but what languages do you speak, real quick?
PC is. Come back to me. Give me a sec. I'm just having some weird lag with my PC.
Yeah, no worries. The red caps, whose caps are more like, sort of grayish caps at this point, are gathering around each other, sort of like appear bigger than they are, and to, as a show of force, sort of shoulder to shoulder, back to back.
I don't know what you maniacs did, but we just ended up in the Starless market.
Starless what?
Watch your back.
Thoras, roll a saving throw against the spell. Not with advantage, because you didn't take damage since last time.
Hell. Come on. Oh my god.
Oh. All right. And last but not least, let's just go ahead and have you draw our 50 sub act of God, and then we'll be all caught up.
Me?
Yep.
Oh,
Unless you want to let
boy.
Lysha have it, since you already, attracted the attention of a sovereign, which is like a mini act of God.
Oh,
unto
it's
itself.
bad.
Oh my god, what have you done? It's the same thing.
It's really bad.
Oh, Brennan.
Wait, which one is it?
Oh no.
Dark Crossing. Dark
Oh.
briars and fairy laughter, grim flowers and strange meadows. I swear I shuffled these.
I'm looking at Eren's character sheet. He speaks Common and Celestial.
Okay, well, he doesn't have any clue what's being said. Okay. As you try to laugh, the Efreet...
Mortal, the sovereigns tire of your constant request for intercession. What has happened? This one doesn't seem to be in any state to respond.
Am I next?
He's talking to Bren, who's, howling with laughter.
What?
The Thoras special. Okay. With that, the red caps suddenly drop to the floor and bow. From at the heart of the courtyard, as I said, is this great, huge stone fountain, completely dry, no water in it whatsoever. Standing in the shadow that it casts from no visible light source, a figure appears, 8 feet tall, clad in a flowing black dress. Her hair streams back, pale and ghostly. Her arms stretch almost all the way down from, again, 8 feet tall, almost all the way down to her shins. They are unnaturally long. Like the top part from here is roughly, the forearms are roughly normal, but then as it goes down, the arms just extend outwards, and her fingers are these long, pale, glowing claws. She floats above the ground, surrounded by wisps of mist that seem to buoy her above the earth, and a pale, glowing, ephemeral crown floats a few inches above her head as she drifts across the courtyard towards you.
Would I recognize this figure at all?
Nature or Arcana.
Nature it is. 24?
This is Flamnach Korkrai, the Lady Rowan, Archfey of the Unseelie Court.
The one who my people have a bad history with?
Yeah.
Not the one getting married.
Correct.
But the one who
Okay.
invited us.
Correct.
Well, Lysha was about to stop what she was doing anyway at the sight of all of the blood that she had drawn from Thoras and realizing that this is her party member.
Reasonable.
And because this woman has arrived, she's now doubly motivated to cease trying to cut off Thoras's nipple. So still got a bone to pick with you, Thoras. We're gonna have this out because one flesh is a bad thing.
I don't know what that is.
But she would well, I don't have a sheath for this giant sword dagger because I wasn't
usually
carrying it.
Carry it, yeah.
But upon seeing all the red caps bow and knowing the position she's in despite her people's history, she would probably take a knee herself and look sharply at her party mates, suggesting they do the same. Alika, she knows, is on a bear, so that may be less doable.
I'm on a bear.
And kind of hiss, "It's Rowan, Lady Rowan."
Okay. Allan.
She has the,
Sorry,
sword
ahead.
still in her hand, but it's on the
Mhm.
ground, not. It doesn't look threatening, but she's not letting go of it.
Okay. Allan, what do you do?
Allan notices the Lady Rowan, and is going to, with a large display, leap up from what he was previously doing. Which
Don't you
was,
still believe you have yourself projected in a giant? I'm just curious.
No, because I think that was a thing that was short lasting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it lasted for one round.
Okay.
And then afterwards, after you unleashed what felt for a moment like the power of dawn magic, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, I just kind of shake myself a little bit, and I look at the rattle, and I'm gonna look over at the Freety, and kind of put the rattle away again, and then I'm going to kind of look over at Lady Rowan and bow very, very deeply, putting my butt right in Thoras's face as he's on the floor, lying almost prostrate, with my ass completely on his face.
Okay.
So the day Allan sat on Thoras's face. Got it.
Yep. And that's the episode title. That's what the VOD's gonna be called on YouTube. All right, cool.
You're on my face right now.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to maintain concentration on the spell.
But nobody here is grappling me. I'm just prone laughing.
Correct.
While the spell lasts, you are incapacitated.
We are not holding you down.
Oh my god. Oh.
If you attack this woman, please, I will end you.
And she will. It does. Just curious. The incapacitated condition says that you cannot take actions or reactions. It doesn't say you can't move, but you fall prone and unable to stand up for the duration. So you can crawl at half your speed. if you're not being grappled. We are going to go to Eren first, and then back to you and the Ifrit. Fighting would be an action, chat. Eren, what do you do?
Well, I mean, he hears Lysha say who it was, right? So, I think probably look at her meaningfully and look at the dagger, and in a way that's like, yo, just be ready to stick it inside this crazy fairy thing if we need to. I guess he takes a knee. He finds the idea, honestly, all the kind of unpleasant, really. But he's also like, well, she's bigger than me, so rules of the arena and all that. So
Right.
yeah, he takes a knee.
Okay. Thoras, do you want to roll your saving throw first, or did you have something else in mind?
Is there a point?
Aww.
What
again? There is not.
How many rounds has it been?
Like 4 rounds?
I feel like it's been more than that. Maybe not.
We've gone around in circles about 4 times, and I'm doing one.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thoras.
Okay. The Ifrit seems about to admonish you in some way, or take some sort of action. But as the Lady Rowan enters the scene, he pauses to gauge his options. Yeah, he's not going to do anything just yet. He's a minion of the sovereigns, but he's not the sovereigns himself. He's going to hold his tongue and give a respectful, nod. Not a bow, not a knee, but the, okay, all right, I see you. I know what's up.
Okay.
And who drew that card?
Thoras.
Okay.
Yeah.
She glances over at Thoras and with one of her bizarre elongated hands, makes a unraveling gesture. And Allan, you feel the magic of the spell binding Thoras just completely dissolve and come undone, just pulled apart at the seams as the effect ends.
I would immediately go into a rage.
Oh my god.
God.
That's a bonus action. And what do you do with your action?
I'm gonna get Allan off of me.
Okay. Roll an opposed athletics check.
This is my last rage.
Wow.
I get
That's
advantage.
a time
of
to
it
use
as well.
it.
I think episode 3 is haunted. Episode 3 was the whole thing at the bridge where it ended with everybody about to nuke each other back in Arc 1. Episode 3 is haunted.
Episode 3 is constant PvP.
Allan, roll an athletics check.
Wow. I am so athletic right now. Incredibly athletic.
Oh, the power of ass to face cannot be denied.
Wow.
Oh my god.
This does not make any sense.
Such an advantage.
The giant cannot displace the bard.
It's just positioning, it's all about leverage. It's not about
Exactly.
Physics.
about leverage.
That was attack number 1.
Oh,
You get
ass.
two.
I just basically, as he tries to sit up, I just push my ass even further down into his face.
Oh my god, fuck off. Just fuck off.
I need to go again.
Yes.
Oh, I only
Okay.
rolled a 16 this time.
I was going to lose it. I was going to absolutely lose my shit. All right. Ass is removed from face.
Okay.
In what
how much-
manner? What do you do to me? I mean, I'm in a kind of precarious position. I'm bowing. I'm off kilter a bit. I mean, what, you just headbutting my ass?
Just sheer rage just ripping you off of my face, and I'm gonna run away. I'm actually just
Sheer
gonna run.
rage.
I'm gonna run away.
I'm gonna run away.
Okay. Thoras starts running off.
Hmm.
For right now, I'm preoccupied with the Lady Rowan, and I'm gonna let him.
Okay. Lysha, what do you do?
What's the name of the town we were trying to go to again?
Lunasa.
Lunasa, not Lunesta, which is a drug. My Lady Rowan, we came seeking Lunasa and have clearly lost our way. We mean to take you up on your invitation, but we know it is not yet time. Can you point us in the correct direction?
Well, Lunasa's a very, very, very long way away from here. And it's just full of, well, they're scared and they're frightened and they've had such a rough time. Why don't you come be my guests instead?
Much as we wish to be your guests, we wish first to bring you appropriate gifts, and not all of my party are prepared to do so.
Oh, I have no need
Lunasa
for
would be-
gifts. I'm not getting married.
Please, I must ensure that my people persist.
There are delights within my kingdom that any fairy queen would kill to have. Dine at my table, sleep in my chambers, enjoy the hospitality of my court.
You wish for me to be a bridge between your people and mine. I must first confer with my people, please.
Roll persuasion.
All right, just quickly, is this the Lady Rowan?
Yes.
No, I'm not persuasive.
4!
She doesn't say anything, but you feel a terrible chill run down your spine. Allan, what do you do?
Excuse me, my lady. Sorry for interrupting the proceedings. Why did you let that guy go free? I mean, I know that you've given us all invitations to the wedding at the Sealy Court, but he's run off now, and he was infected with the one flesh. You'd rather fuck that up.
You're saying that to the Lady Rowan?
Oh, Allan.
Yeah. He's inquiring. He's being polite, but he's also...
As far as he knows.
That's not polite.
Yeah.
This is that's surely that's suicide. If you wanted to leave the campaign, just say. Like, what?
You've caused quite a mess, and now we're gonna have to go and get him.
We are not with him.
Is this more or less suicidal than Thoras trying to suplex a giant off a cloud? That's the real question.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yeah, good luck, you little shit.
14.
How does he still do
14.
better than I do?
Yeah.
But
She
he's +9.
pulls, it looks like she pulls one of her long clawed fingers right out. But instead, it seems to be a wooden wand of some kind. And she holds it in her other hand.
Oh, as she does this, I'm gonna reach into my cloak and hold my wand. The rattle that's causing weird things. I'm gonna try and do it very surreptitiously so she doesn't notice, almost as if I'm kind of pulling my cloak back as if to bow or to bend down, you know, to nod my head as I realize that I've perhaps insulted her a little bit. But instead, I'm holding onto this wand. I'm getting ready to fucking wave it at her if she waves that shit at me.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand check against her passive perception.
24.
You made it by 3 points.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Passive perception is 21. Holy.
Okay. She stretches out, waves the wand, and
I'm as she goes to flick, I'm immediately gonna flick my cloak as if to bow. I'm gonna flick my wand. I'm not attempting to directly engage in like counter wand battle with
Oh,
her, like
you're
something
not
out of
looking-
I don't
fucking.
even know what it's
Book
gonna
4, you're
do.
not
It's
looking for
like
book 4 of
setting
Harry
up.
Potter?
This is the wonder, bro. Who fucking knows what it's gonna do?
But I
This is
can
a
tell.
dueling class.
But I can tell I fucked up because she's making dead ass eye contact with me. She just pulled out one of her fingers and she's flicking at it like a wand.
We fucking Dumbledore's
I
army
didn't
now,
take a
bro. Just
movement on
fucking
my
waving
turn.
wands at each other, dude.
Would you like
Can I
to
try to,
vacate
like-
the premises?
Dive roll away from
Yeah.
Allan.
Eren, would you like to vacate the premises?
If I am very close to this, if I can, well, can I perceive that Allan is using his wand?
Oh, you cannot, but you can perceive that he just insulted her.
Well, yeah, I would back away. Probably not a full movement action, maybe a half one. Because
Meanwhile,
Eren is-
the red caps.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Run! Fucking run!
So how
shit.
far can I get away? Can I move
One-
my whole,
Yeah, you can move
or
your
just
whole.
one square?
No, you can move your full movement. That's fine.
Okay, that's yeah, cool.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna move
The
back
fuck
towards
out,
Sid.
dude.
Allan, roll 1d100.
Okie dokie.
I'm standing near the Ifrit.
34.
34.
Can we move the bear and poor innocent Alika?
What's about to happen?
Oh no.
Roll another 1d100.
23.
23. A rhinoceros appears.
Sorry, what?
Poof! There's a puff of smoke, and a rhinoceros appears right
Like
next
in
to
between the
lady.
two of us?
Yep.
Okay, does it catch the blast from her or something?
Yes. She waves her Rowan wand at it.
I don't know how we're supposed to get Allan out of this. I just have no idea.
I have 5 hit points. I'm just trying to save myself.
I
Yeah.
only have 5 hit points.
No.
And the rhinoceros melts. Its flesh just sloughs off and melts into liquid, and it emits this as it becomes this puddle of just goo seeping
Well,
into
that could have been you, Allan.
completely liquefied, seeping into the flagstones of the Starless market.
28, by the way. Yep. Okay.
Huh. Okay. 20 d8.
Eren,
Yes.
that just happened. Is there anything you'd like
Yes.
to do?
You know, I am going to call out the name of my spirit guide. I don't remember what it is. But I'm calling
Omglef.
it out. Yeah, I'm calling that shit out. Yeah, well, you know, you told me to call your name if I needed help, and this might be one of those times.
Your words drop against the stones. Hollow, as if they don't echo off of anything, as if you've spoken them into one of those like really, really creepily soundproof rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this fear rises within you. Something compels you to look up at the completely dead black sky of the Starless market,
Yup, that checks out.
where celestials cannot hear you.
Yikes, bro.
Oh.
Do I see anything when I look up, or just?
It's an
Sweet.
empty
FA.
sky. It is an empty sky.
Oh, yo, bro.
There are very few places in the multiverse where Omglef would not be able to hear you, and this is one of them.
Huh? Can I address the Lady Rowan?
Of course. As gallons and gallons of rhinoceros sort of slowly spread across the courtyard.
Oh God.
I also, after Eren's figured his thing out as well, I have an immediate reaction that I would try and launch into as soon as I see the rhinoceros slough across the floor. But that's it's up to Eren.
Yep, Eren, you go first.
Yes. Oh God. Can I even do this right now? Hold on. Let me see if I actually have the. No. Okay, I'm going to address the Lady Rowan and say that I'm not quite sure if my father would approve of your Knight Protector and his party not even making it to the wedding.
She looks, Eren Vol. Would you be my guest and accept my hospitality, since your compatriots seem too rude to do so?
I would be remiss to refuse. And I will affect as much of a bow as this very tense situation would offer me.
Roll insight.
Insight. Eren, not really a very insightful person. We'll be honest with
A 3.
Okay, you have no idea how that went over. She's not going to do anything, I promise. She's not going to do anything just yet. We will get to Allan's reaction, but I want to cut to Thoras first. Are you still hauling ass across the Starless Market?
I would have gone into the tree line if
There are no
whatever
trees.
what is in there.
There are no stars or trees, bro.
There's no
Get
stars,
with the
there's no
program.
trees. It's like a ruined city. It's like an ancient ruined Roman sort of style city with great columns and galleries built all over the place, but it's all ruined, it's all covered with ivy, and there are people here. Shapes lurking in the shadows, speaking to each other in a language you do not understand, and you hear the clattering of metal on metal as these different voices call out across this marketplace to each other. Roll perception, Thoras.
Not good at all.
Okay. As your eyes adjust, trying to see through the shadows, you see that there are figures here, silhouettes, and they slowly resolve themselves, even though your eyes don't really want to see them. They are some form of fey or elvish folk. Metal, here, like, they are covered in metal piercings, and they all wear these braces on their arms that appear this dull, dark metal that dig into their flesh with spikes. Many of them are covered with weapons and spiked chains, and some of them are wearing around their necks ears.
No
ears on
regrets.
strings. And there's some of them have all these different rings around their necks, and they're all calling to each other and appear to be engaged in trade. And there's some other figures here as well, like cloaked things with their hair emanating down the bottom, things that don't even look humanoid at all, and they're all trading and speaking and whispering to each other.
I'm gonna browse and see what I've got.
Okay.
Thoris is gonna try and
Shopping.
suddenly he's gonna change his posture, and he's gonna act like yes, I know what I'm doing. I've been to the Starless market
I
before.
belong in this market.
I belong in this market. Yes, sir.
It's my everyday routine. Way back from work, drop by the market on the way home.
Yes.
Pick up some ears for the kids.
Still in a rage. Don't know for how much longer, but just
If you do not take damage or inflict damage, the rage ends.
I stab myself.
Okay. Take 1 point of damage.
Incredible, truly incredible.
Love it. Awfully convenient.
And yeah, I'm gonna, in between fits of rage, just yep, I belong here. Just gonna try and browse the goods.
Okay. You don't see a whole lot of, like, when people are trading, they're trading in ears or they're trading in silver rings. You see a spiky blue hedgehog? No. And they're all calling, and you do see some of them sort of peering at you and looking at you, and there's a market stall set up where two of these very pale metal-bound figures watch, and their stall seems to be open.
All right, I'm gonna go up to it.
They look at
Also,
you.
you're still bleeding.
Yes, you are still bleeding, which
Mhm.
has their attention, and you're
Good.
cutting.
I'm gonna keep.
Yes.
I'm gonna stab myself a little bit more.
Yeah, you fit in
The
great
restaurant.
around here,
Just a tad,
honestly.
just a
Like
little bit, yeah.
totally blending right in.
And you called it.
My patron lady, the Dark Lady, needs a gift for the wedding. Just keep stabbing myself a little bit. What do you have?
Death.
Oh, jolly good.
Not a great gift for a wedding. I will be honest with you, my sir. I need something more material.
Do you want to try the departments up on the second floor? You're not from around here, clearly. We trade here in lives. This is a marketplace of those whose trade is death.
I've dealt in death before. Stab myself a little bit more. Just keep the rage going.
How many hit points do you have left?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
31, apparently.
31. All right, well then you're fine. One of them, I mean, we do have. Does she want a tattoo? We can do tattoos too.
How do you gift a tattoo?
Well, they'd have to come by our shop and get the ink. Do you have? Would you be looking for Kraken ink or Umbral Banyan sap?
Just get a tattoo that says Lady Rowan inside a love heart with like cherubs on the other side of it. Like,
But the gift is for
It's
her
on you, but-
sister.
Oh, true.
Or is there one whose death would bring her great joy?
Yes, but I don't think I could say it.
Not again, dude.
The Ifrit, speaking of which, just sort of like floats along the ground. He looks at Allan, who just he has to stay. I was gonna have him follow you because you called him, but he does not want to turn his back on her. Anyways, back to your attempts at trading.
Yeah. I have dealt in death before.
Perhaps we can help you. We will have you speak with the Kina. The Kina will know what to give. Third floor, you want to go up through that courtyard, across the causeway, walk out for the broken steps, go through the briar patch, and then up. You see that little shadowy spot right there, just out of sight? You wait right there, just wait a couple of minutes, and usually the Kina shows up pretty fast. Can't miss it.
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna walk away.
Okay, take another point of damage. Meanwhile, Lysha, there's rhinoceros just leaking everywhere.
Before we get to me, didn't Allan have a reaction upon the melting rhinoceros?
Would you like to go ahead and do that now, Allan, since we're sort of back in your scene? Okay, what do you have in mind?
I certainly can. Okay, so as soon as he wiggles his wand, very stealthily, and he sees a rhinoceros both appear before him and melt to pieces, Allan is going to immediately try and burst into the most deceitful performance of his career. What he's going to attempt to do is he's going to attempt to weep and throw himself on the floor and cry out, "No, my guardian rhinoceros! You have slain the very essence of my soul, Lady Rowan. You have extracted a toll upon me that you could never know. Worse that you have taken this rhinoceros than had you taken my own life. Please, have mercy at this point. You've taken everything from me." And he's gonna
What's that
attempt
passive, insight again?
he's gonna attempt to deceive her into thinking that that the aim here is that she thinks she's extracted such a toll upon his mental well-being that it was acceptable retribution for being rude.
Okay.
Uh,
Roll a deception or performance check, whichever you'd prefer.
Well, here goes. 31 deception.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, Allan weeps. And the sounds of his despair echo across the Starless market as the Shadow Fae sort of gather around like, what just happened?
Thoras is shopping, he just hears a crying sound.
Yeah.
A bit weird.
Yeah, no, it's really harshing their window shopping vibe right now. Okay. Lysha, do you need to do anything now that he's rolled a 31 on his deception check to pour out his heart and soul about his poor rhinoceros?
Well, Lysha was planning to hold Ellen hostage to make the Lady Rowan like her better, but now she don't know what to do.
Same.
So she's is Sin's Ifrit standing next to her? Is that accurate?
Yeah, just right next to you.
Well, she trusts him more than her own party members at this point, so she'd kind of like look sidelong at him like, what is this? Try and share like a companionable glance with the Ifrit, like, what the hell is going on? Are you seeing this? I didn't know Allan cared about a rhinoceros. Like, where has this been all of our quests? He had a spirit guide?
He speaks to you in primordial. He speaks to you in primordial.
Look, Elf, I'm gonna be real with you. I came here to lay the smackdown on some people who really pissed off my lord, the sovereign Sin, and invoked his name in vain. But you guys are on your own with this one.
Looking back at him before he leaves in primordial, she'd be like, listen, I can't blame you. I want you to know I would never invoke your sovereign's name in vain, and that much of our party has very deep and abiding respect for him. Please let him know that. In fact, you know what? Do I still have that Stardust jar that was going to be my gift for the wedding?
I believe so.
You know what? I was going to give this to the Fae, but I'll find them another gift. Can you give this to Sin as a token of our esteemed gratitude and tell him that we are so sorry?
Wait, does the Lady Rowan see this?
Good question. If she does, she's not saying anything.
Does she speak primordial as well? Because otherwise, she
Also,
wouldn't.
Presumably she does. Also, all those voices. If I speak Celestial, Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Primordial, would I understand any of them?
Oh.
Dope.
Lit.
They are speaking Sylvan.
I do not speak Sylvan.
All right. The Ifrit will collect the gifts as a worthy offering to Sin, Sovereign of Fire. Look over at Allan, who banished him earlier.
You may want to go check on your Goliath. His
I
mouth is
appreciate.
writing a check that his ass can't cash.
I appreciate the guidance. I'll do that. Also, is he? Do you know? Can you tell? Is he infected with the one flesh? Because I might just let him go then.
I lack the sight.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll thank you for the guidance. I will try and draw him away. And she would, bow to Sin, and while also like kind of bowing in the direction of Lady Rowan, like back away in the direction that Thoras has gone.
Uldra, if you find him to be tainted, There is only one way forward.
Liban has charged me with the way. I know.
Are we clear? Is my message coming through?
Very crystal.
Great. Because what I'm saying is you gotta kill him. If he's tainted, infested, you gotta like, end his life. Does that make sense? Am I coming? Okay, alright, great.
Checks out. Thank you. Oh.
And he vanishes in a column of fire, very eager to be out of the Lady Rowan's presence.
And then however far I can move, I guess, all that conversation was probably an action, so I can probably only move 35, right?
Yeah, you're gonna start catching up. You're gonna start catching up with
15,
with
20,
Thoras.
25, 30, 35. Somewhere like there. Because there's no trees. I'm under the cards. I can't see myself moving them. There. Something like that.
Good enough for me. Okay, who do we got? Allan, you just... She floats over the rhino goo
Okay.
towards you and reaches her unearthly long arm underneath your chin, and the claws reach right here as if to say there, and tilt your head up until you're looking at her.
Okay.
And you're looking up at like this 6 foot long, glowing, pale green arm.
She's a big girl.
Yes.
I'm gonna maintain my
You're
most
about to join her harem, motherfucker.
my most incredibly distraught face.
Mm-hmm. Why doesn't Thoras, the largest adventurer, not just eat the other 3? Thank you, chat. See, I didn't expect to have to figure out what to do after an archfey floated across a pile of rhinoceros to comfort the person who she just liquidated it because he insulted her. But that's, this wouldn't be fun if it was easy.
I'm gonna in fact, as she pulls my chin up to meet her eyes, I'm gonna give my most impassioned apology. I'm terribly sorry, Lady Rowan, for anything I may have done to what's the correct word? To
front.
Yeah, to affront. I was merely had the safety of one of your esteemed guests at the forefront of my mind.
There. Let me make it up to you. Be my guest, enjoy my hospitality as we prepare for the wedding, and all will be forgiven.
Absolutely.
Right.
Page.
Did you say something?
Oh no, that was just
Valid. All right. As you do this, you notice the red caps sort of creeping up behind you, behind the Lady Rowan, and they lean down. They look both ways. They lean down towards the puddle of rhinoceros and begin lapping it up.
I throw myself into another fit of tears.
All right. They all start snickering to each other until she turns around and they just shut up. And she's gonna look at them and she flicks her wand and one of them just immediately turns into goo, and the other ones all scatter away as she just melts his flesh into nothingness.
It takes 98 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're supposed to fight her, Allan.
Thank you, my lady. Thank you. They were most disrespectful to us when they found us.
Oh, awful little things. Oh, great. So, Eren,
Yes.
You have not refused her hospitality.
I have not refused the hospitality, no.
Yes.
Though definitely not in as much of a theatrical manner. But yeah, I think he was willing just to take one for the team, but maybe, all right. It looks like he's not the only one.
All right.
I haven't refused. I just asked if we could be sent elsewhere.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So here's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reconcile. We have sort of two scenes going on. Eren, is there anything that you'd like to do?
No, not at this point. He was hoping that invoking certain individuals would have belayed her wrath, and that seems to have worked, or at least her wrath is belayed. So no, he's fine. He doesn't want to explore this market at all because someone is just going to take his ear.
Yeah, it'd be unusually easy in this case.
Yes.
Erica rides up on Korak the bear next to Lysha as you close in on Thoras. Hello, what's going on? Let's cut to Thoras for a moment, who was he just got instructions, and Lysha and Alika and the bear are riding up behind you, Thoras. You are still in a rage as you continue to like cut away at yourself.
I'm gonna sprint
Okay.
to where I was told to go.
All right. Lysha, Thoras sprints away. Thoras, what's your move speed?
It is 40.
Lysha, you move at 35 if I'm not wrong.
That is correct.
Okay. Bear moves at 40 as well.
Uh-huh.
I knew I should have ridden the bear, man.
Okay. Well, as he starts to sprint away, God, I really don't want to make everyone around here mad at me.
Well, tell you what,
That doesn't sound like you at all.
before
Sound like
you do
Lysha-
that, why don't you do me a favor and draw from the Act of God level 10 deck, because we just hit another one.
Another one. I still have 5 hit points, guys. Okay.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got.
Oh dear. Power of fire. Fire purges the darkness. Fire cleanses the unholy.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
Oh! That
Hmm.
seems...
Think-
What? What?
Okay. As the Ifrit parts, giving you instructions to cleanse Thoras if he is tainted, feel warmth in your heart and flowing through your veins. There is fire waiting within you. You need only call upon it. You may call upon it once.
Okay.
You have a one-time fire buff.
One-time fire buff.
Okay,
That's
okay.
kind of dope.
That's kind of cool.
Make a little note of that here.
If you want to actually, if you right click, you should be able to take the card, and that'll be a good way to record that you have that.
Take part.
There you go.
Dope. That's pretty cool. Also, I backed out of my character, so
Unlucky.
hang on.
Well, Thor, are you chasing Thoras?
So what I was thinking of doing, but I am nervous that it will piss off the people in the night market. But I can make all the terrain difficult terrain, and I'm not affected by it, so I could potentially catch up to him.
What a disproportionate way of dealing with this.
Disproportionate
Well-
response is like, it's Lysha, disproportionate response
Yeah.
Norwalyn.
That checks out. Okay, no. You know what? New plan. He's trying to climb the stairs, right?
Mhm.
So, like, how is this place laid out? Is it like open air? He's trying to get to like another level, or
Yeah, so it's a whole tumble. It's like a ruined, again, I keep saying Roman architecture. So you've got a lot of like open hallways that are open on one side with columns in them, and different marketplaces separated by stone walls, all crumbling and ivy covered. It's very maze-like. It has all these different courtyards, and in each courtyard, various unseelie fae are set up, trading in all sorts of things.
well, she'd start off trying to yell after him like, Thoras, the Ifrit told me you're making a mistake. And if he didn't stop,
I don't even know what an Afreed is.
That sign won't stop me because I can't read.
the one that you summoned. She would. Okay, so what I was thinking of trying to do, depending on what the layout here is like if he's sprinting for the stairs trying to get up them, I could cast spider climb on myself and go up the wall, try and cut him off.
That's a good idea.
That feels less all-encompassing, all-impactful.
But I don't know if the layout is such that would make sense.
Yeah, no, that would totally work.
Totally.
And as you put the magic together and it coalesces around you, suddenly an invisible hand tugs at the threads of the spell and it just dissolves.
Well, that checks out.
And the Lady Rowan sort of reaches out into the air with her long claws and plucks as your spell just goes up. She uses her reaction.
I guess what, Lysha?
So-
More things that prevent you casting spells.
Yeah, this is the arc where Lysha gets to cast 0 spells. So she'd just kind of yell after Thoras, "You're getting yourself killed!"
No. You tried to kill me with a knife.
I did not try to kill you. I tried to cut off your nipple because you're infected by
Bye.
one flesh. There's a very big difference.
I mean,
All Thoras saw was Allan cast Hideal Laughter on him, sit on his chest, whilst you got a Dotane's dagger and pointed it towards his chest.
No, not towards his chest. It was horizontal, trying to go through your
You know,
nipple.
like
It wasn't
slicing him like a pepperoni.
pointy. It was like sliced.
I mean, either way, Thoras is scared for his life and he's running away from you and everyone else.
I mean, reasonable, but Lysha is trying to save his life right now. So anyway, can't really stop him from doing the dumb.
okay.
I think that's her turn.
You go
She's
from,
taking her movement
they're
and her
cutting
action.
my nipple off. Oh God, they're cutting my nipple off. I don't know how you're going to be able to switch to like, oh, I think they're really trying to save my life right now. Like,
No, I didn't say that.
I also
say it was
like
unreasonable.
I like how Thoris's panic in rage. Oh my God, they're trying to cut off my nipple. Response is must go shopping.
I want to get away from them, but they followed me to the shop.
So
Waste makes
let's see,
haste.
5,
Haste is
10,
waste.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, wherever the heck you are.
All right.
How have you caught up to me already?
Well, you didn't move on your turn.
No, he started moving. You guys are
Sprinted.
in an
You just didn't move your
abstract.
character.
Yeah, you guys are in an abstract zone at this point. You move almost as fast as him, so you're only a little bit of the ways behind him. All right. So the Lady Rowan has, aside from her wand of flesh melting, has a variety of magic at her disposal. So she is going to teleport to Lysha.
damn, you were going to go to such lengths to try and be her friend as well. You're going to take what? When are you going to take Allan hostage?
Yeah, I was. I was going to take Allan hostage. I prostrated myself before her before anybody else did.
Yeah.
I tried to
you
talk
bowed to her
nicely
before, it
about
was
bringing her, like,
cool.
you know,
Mhm.
I'm the hipster.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use that joke twice today. It's fine. Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
Mhm. Sort of like she slips down into the cloud of mist and then just pops right back up next to you. All 8 feet of her.
My lady.
Lysha, 2 of your friends have accepted my hospitality. Will you not come and stay with them?
How could I possibly refuse such a kind invitation?
Yes, go join them. I'll see to your last companion.
Please don't let him make any deals he can't keep.
Oh, of course not. Wouldn't let him make any deals that he couldn't keep.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay. As she walks over back to Ellen, who is, are you still crying about your rhinoceros?
Yeah, I'm sniveling. I would say.
Cool. Lysha's gonna slap you.
Yeah, slap his face. Not so tough now, are ya? Yeah, slap him.
Ah! What the hell? Why?
I am you.
Are they still
You.
suckling on rhino juice?
No, they stopped after it's now a mixture of red cap and rhino juice. So
I can conjure another rhinoceros for you
I just
if you
throw in
like.
some
Allan.
kale and you've got to get up and go shake. Nice.
Thoras, as you run
Yeah.
just up staircases and through hallways into the third level in the shadows, it's on one side it's a stone wall covered in ivy. On the other side it's an open and it's got these pillars along the way, and there's moss drooping down to cover it, covering the whole thing in shadow. Are you continuously poking yourself to maintain your rage?
Yes.
Okay, take 3 more points of damage. And moments later, as you arrive there, out of the shadows, something about, well, it'd be waist height for a human, so a little bit below waist height, gracefully, slowly drags itself out of a dark corner. It is a bundle of dark, glistening leaves all around sort of a central stalk on thin filament roots crawling its way around.
Are you the shopkeeper?
It buzzes and hums, and it sounds like reeds. It sounds like it's reeds drawing in air in order to speak. Would be in a
Oh, I'm waiting for this.
While we're on our little side thing as well, just as an aside, I would give Dotane's dagger back to Eren while we are presumably out of sight of Lady Rowan.
okay.
Thoras, you come to bargain.
Otherworldly for sure.
Send you.
I have come to bargain, but I have been told you only deal in souls.
Death is preferred. What is your desire?
Souls are death. I can convince you.
What are you buying?
I don't know. What are you selling?
A gift for the Sealy Queen.
Yes, well, could maybe quite preferable.
I will
Thoris's
trade
vocabulary is
you
really good.
the life of a traitor and a foe to the Sealy Queen, or a gift that will leave her speechless.
How about I do you one better? I offer you the soul of a sailor who cannot die.
Go on.
Have you ever heard of the tale of Gilbert?
Oh my god.
I can't keep talking like that, but
That's fine. That's fine. We'll assume that you're just, take another point of damage as you
straining.
poke yourself.
What are you poking yourself with, by the way? Is this like the pointy end of your axe?
My fingernail.
Fingernail.
There, quarantine's been going on for a while. Nobody's had a pedi or a manicure, so it's pretty gnarly.
And I would go on to explain the tale of Gilbert, the snippets I've heard, and how the sailor was never granted death, always raised in servitude of sea dragons and destined to battle a party of so-called adventurers until the end of time. And his soul now belongs to me as the last one to kill him, as is Goliath culture, which I just keep making up. Keep adding little snippets into the Goliath
I was
culture.
wondering where the arse pull of actually being able to tender his soul would come from.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
It's like, how are you gonna get it? Get it? No, I have already got it. I got dibs, man. I got dibs.
Are you
Yeah, well.
bartering Gilbert? Is that what I missed when I stepped away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to
Oh.
claim that he owns Gilbert's soul and can therefore sell it.
I'd be telling you guys about how the Ifrit told me we might have to kill Thoras.
Why?
If he's infected with the one flesh, it's the only way to cleanse him.
The only way? Are you sure?
This is what the minions of the Fire Sovereign have told me.
But what does
And
it do?
also what Liban charged me with. I've said her name a lot. Do I have to roll for her, by the way? Or are we good on her?
You're good. You're good.
What happens if you don't? Just out of curiosity.
He would be a minion of the one flesh. That is the worst fate. A fate worse than death.
Yeah, but I mean, I can beat him if he turns, right? I'll just fight him.
He is already turned if he is possessed.
He doesn't seem possessed. Seems as dumb as always.
If
Alright.
he is tainted, he is a spy. And all we do is seen by the one flesh.
Well, wait. I mean, I didn't know we were hiding from anyone anyway. I mean, we just keep ending up in different dimensions. I don't know. Is this a problem, Alan? Is this a problem?
I suggest you consult with your spirit guide, the celestial one who you
I am.
listen to. They would agree with me. I'm confident.
You wouldn't want to know what he told me about you.
Could be a serious problem, Eren. But I think we've got bigger problems. This lady Rowan nearly tried to melt me.
She did try.
Yeah, this
Saved
lady
by
Rowan
the
did try to melt me.
rhinoceros.
Listen, but then I don't even want to know how the rhino appeared. But now we're going to go hang out at a pad, right? Good food and
At the mention of the
hospitality.
rhino, Lysha would put her arm around Alan. I'm so sorry for the loss
Oh,
of your
yeah.
spirit guide.
Yes, your wait. He doesn't have a spirit guide.
That's
Yeah.
what he said. And he
Animal
gave a
guardian.
ridiculous performance, so I believed him.
Yeah, it was my spirit guide. I don't
Why
like
have
to
I
brag, but
I've never seen this rhino before.
Neither
yeah.
had I.
Well, he only appears in my direst need.
So
Well,
being
we've
born,
been in pretty dire need a few times, Alan.
No, this was mega dire.
yeah, I mean, you could have told me. Now, at least we know that, no, fuck the bear, actually. Get that rhino back out here. Oh, wait, it's dead.
It's fragged. It's dead.
Is it a spirit rhino? Can it reincarnate?
Yeah, she melted the bitch.
I would have really liked to have ridden the rhino.
Anyway, I just
Me
wanted the
too.
aside so that I was telling them we might have to kill Thoras. We can let Thoras do his thing.
Oh, who knows where this is going to go.
I
mean, I want to know where this goes. We bought Joe some time to deal with your
Do you
artillery.
seek for the sailor's soul?
Sorry, say that again.
What do you seek for the sailor's soul in exchange?
Gift worthy of giving to a queen.
Go to the courtyard's heart. Walk beneath the fountain. Stand at the threshold and call his name. If he answers you, his contract is sealed.
Oh my god.
Thoras doesn't really know magic, but Thoras trusts you, small bush creature. I will be off.
Oh my god.
okay.
And Thoras will go bounding off towards the fountain threshold.
All right. The Lady Rowan reappears with the lot of you, with the rest of you, as Thoras just crosses the courtyard, just running through, pushing past people who all sort of flow like shadows out of his way. And she says, "You've all been through such trials. You must rest. You must eat. We must prepare for the wedding. There is much
So many
to
trials.
do." Yes.
Mm.
So, if you're not,
Ooh, eating food in Fae.
Lysha, roll history, Arcana or Nature.
Oh god. I have
Yeah.
a +7 modifier and I rolled a 9.
Okay, yeah, all right. Let's.
Alan, roll Arcana.
Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Am I involved?
Yeah, well, she's
Standing
speaking
here.
to the lot of you. You're a bard. You hear a lot of
Right.
stories. Generally speaking, as long as you're in the scene, you have a chance to make the check.
11.
Yeah,
Also,
there's stories about eating fairy food. It's supposed to be really
Oh,
tasty.
they are.
okay.
Thoras, at the heart of the courtyard, and the closer you walk to it, it feels like it doesn't get any closer, but the edges of the courtyard get farther and farther away, and the flagstones grow wider and wider. This fountain, it's fairly plain. There's no carvings. It's got like some decorative carvings, but no symbols, no signs or nothing, and it's covered in ivy. And it rises up to a height of 10 feet. If it actually worked, the fountain would probably rise another 5 feet above that. It's probably 20 feet across. And you do notice as you get closer that the courtyard right by its base is cracked. And there's these jutting steps that look like they've been ripped in the earth that go down into interminable darkness beneath the fountain. The air that wafts up is cold and smells of soil.
I think he told me to go down there, right?
Descend beneath the fountain, stand in the threshold, and call the sailor. If he answers, the contract is sealed.
Then Thoras will do that. He's going to walk into underneath the fountain.
Okay. It is very, very dark. Do you have dark vision?
No.
Do you have a light source?
I have my nose.
Okay. You follow...
What? Wait, what? Your nose?
Follow your
You
nose!
just smell.
Follow my nose!
Do you remember when I could smell the Knights of Vinder coming to attack us?
True.
Exactly.
You press forward into the darkness underneath. You have to duck a little bit, and roots scrape at your head. And as you walk forward, it gets older. And a wisdom saving against fear. Are you still poking yourself with your knife?
If you'll allow it.
Take 5 more points of damage and roll this with advantage because it's a fear effect. A wisdom saving throw with advantage. 18. Goliaths are raised to struggle, to strive, to face danger and adversity. They thrive on challenge, and you are no stranger to the concept of your own possible imminent death, and it's always been associated with ideas of glory. But you've never felt quite as close. Every step forward feels like a step into the maws of a dragon that you can't see, or
Lord.
off the edge of a cliff, or even the slow wasting death that sometimes comes upon Goliaths that they fear more than anything else, to die on their own, not in glory. And you stop as the raw earth walls around you give way, your hand sort of scraping against them, give way to a door frame, a lintel of stone so cold that you leave pieces of your own fingers behind it, and you do not want to step through.
Thoras has a pretty good inclination of where he is right now. He probably needs the golden stick
If you want to proceed any
if
further.
you want to
But
proceed any further. But Thoras doesn't really know that. He just knows that he'll die if he walks forward. So he will. He believes that this is the threshold. Again, he's not. He doesn't know that mumbo jumbo with the magic. But he calls out, "Gilbert! I claim my right to your soul as the one who pierced you with your own siege weaponry."
As the one who struck the last 3 points of damage after I did all the work. What? Sorry.
well, there's eliminations and there's final blows. They're different stats. Far beyond in the caverns, beyond this threshold you dare not cross, a great adamant gate swings open. And a scream is plucked from within as it flies across 5 rivers, answering your call. And the shade of Gilbert flies past you, screaming a curse upon your name, Thoras. For though it was Allan who tricked him, and Lysha who let it happen, and Eren who watched it happen, it was you, Thoras, who tore him from the very kingdom of shadows, would refused to let him die, even when he had died 3 times, and now he flies wailing and screaming curses, his ephemeral form, past you. And as the lot of you stand around, you hear a familiar voice swearing in an old, echoing, slightly crusty standard piratey accent at you as this light is strained and spaghettified out from beneath the fountain, and it flows into the upper regions of the courtyard.
Theme of this arc is Bren resurrects dead character.
Yeah, I will send up the stairs, I suppose.
Okay.
Also, Johnny the Wise tricked him.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? That's true. It was it Johnny? Or I'll have to go back and watch. But anyways, you're all complicit. None of you have. You all let it happen. I assumed that if somebody tricked somebody into doing something deleterious to their own well-being, that it would have been Allan. But Johnny the Wise is on second off.
Yeah, I can't quite remember.
I'm like 99.9% sure it was Johnny because Johnny was the healer and he told him he could fix his eye.
Ah, yes.
That was a cooperative. That was an assist. It was a team effort.
Lysha told him it wasn't true, and then everyone told her to shut up.
Didn't Allan cast Charm Person?
Just fine.
Anyways. Thoras, when you reach the hallway where the Kina was supposed to be, the strange talking plant is gone. And in its place is a small rectangular box of finely polished wood, filigreed with metal. You can't tell what kind of metal it is because there's no color or hue here. It looks like a darker sort of metal. It looks finely made, and it's got hinges of the same metal on the back.
I'll give it a little open.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
As you open it, laying on a bed of velvet is a flute of polished bone.
I'll give it a little twirl with my mouth blowing for it.
No noise emerges. Go ahead.
I only have proficiency in the horn, so I would not necessarily know how to play a flute.
Slightly different, yeah.
But I would play it like a horn.
Okay. It does not make any noise.
Then Appa appears and flies down.
Not a great gift for a queen. A horn. I mean, it's a funny shaped horn, isn't it? I don't think she would like this. But I'm gonna stick it in my loin. No, I'm not. That's terrible. Actually.
This is a band camp, Bren. This is getting gifts for this fairy queen, bro.
Sort of fairy queen. Sort of fairy queen.
Is that a flute in your loincloth? Or are you just pleased to be at a wedding?
American Pie reference is waiting to happen, bro.
I put it in the velvet lockbox, and I'm gonna pick it up underneath my arm, and I'm gonna step out of the shop.
Okay.
All right.
Lady Rowan will pop over
Surely
to where
there's
you
going to
are.
be no ill will or no ill effects whatsoever from
No.
this transaction.
No
where
ramifications.
I have ripped a soul from the underworld in exchange for a flute made of bone that makes no noise when you blow it.
Out of character, are these pipes of haunting?
No,
Okay.
no, that's far too pedestrian.
Oh no.
Well, I wouldn't be pedestrian if I could ride the bear.
Hey! All right. So the Lady Rowan rises out of a puddle of mist as you descend down. And Thoras, I'm the nice fairy lady who invited you to the party to be my champion.
I would get to one knee and I'd say, my lady, Thoras does not know much in terms of bowing or kneeling or royalty or the difference between upper and middle class and potentially the issues that arise from that in society. But Thoras is glad to be here.
Oh, don't worry. You don't need to worry about any of those silly things because you are so good at fighting and you are so strong that, you know, honestly, that takes you a long way in polite society. So will you... I know that you've had a very challenging day, and I know that your friends were just trying to cut you open like a salami.
That's not...
Why don't will you come back? Yeah, of course it's not true, but she's like, 100, 200 feet away from you guys. Why don't you come be my guest, relax in my wonderful home, eat food, drink beer and wine, and we can sort this all out.
Thoras could never accept a gift from royalty. Thoras is just Thoras, lowly Goliath.
Well then, will you make a deal?
Thoras will happily exchange for your hospitality.
Great.
Oh no.
You must perform a great feat of strength and defeat a terrible beast that haunts these forests for me. And in exchange, I will give you my hospitality and make you my champion and let you rest and recover beforehand.
Great beast,
12
you say.
HP.
Oh, yes. Terrible monster. A mad...
Thoras would love to accept.
All right.
Love to accept. But Thoras is very weak, like a kitten.
That's why you can accept my hospitality and rest and recover and drink and eat first.
We're all
Good
gonna
deal.
die.
Good deal. What is this beast?
It's a dragon.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
All right. Having all at least not refused the Lady Rowan's hospitality, she knows that she has to handle this with a light touch. She will offer Thoras her hand. Long, spindly, clawed, glowing hand.
This is the same Lady Rowan we were just dealing with, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, I will take the hand.
Great. As you do, the starless market around you dissolves and gives way to the color sort of comes back into your vision, blotting back in and spreading across as it gives way to a forest clearing where at the edges the trees grow together to form trellises. And
Oh, trees.
all around
God.
you are great heaping tables filled with meats and huge vases of wine, and there is a party going on. All sorts of crazy creatures just eating and drinking and fighting. And it's not the Goliath afterlife.
Damn.
Lysha doesn't eat meat.
Well, that's why she sent Thoras over there.
I'm alone here.
Well, aside from all the, bizarre...
Actually does eat meat.
It looks like the cast of the Labyrinth and the cast of Pan's Labyrinth are all having a rave.
All right.
Okay, I don't know what labyrinth is.
Muppets. But like the really creepy
Labyrinth?
fantasy
You've never
Muppets.
seen Labyrinth?
Have you seen?
Nope.
I
No.
just
That's a boomer shit.
you remind
It
me of
is
the
kind of
babe.
boomer shit.
I've never heard of it.
1986.
Did you see the Dark
on.
Crystal
Came
series on
out.
Netflix when that came out?
Oh, that one. We haven't seen it yet. And actually,
Alright.
we're gonna watch it though.
Oh, okay. I see the Muppets now. Oh,
Yeah.
they're all there, just roaming around.
Yeah, they're
It's,
eating,
it's not some
drinking, and
boomer shit.
fighting.
It's some nerd shit. All of you turn in your
Oh,
nerd card right now.
86. 86.
Goblins and
86.
red caps and all sorts of just rough and tumble looking fairies.
Gotcha.
I would like to. Thoras would like to make an impression here. So
Okay.
he's been in Goliath
I've been
prison
here
before.
before.
He's been in Goliath prison. He knows that you got to find the biggest, meanest dude and make an impression of him. He's going to do that, but not actually make an impression of him. What he's going to do is he's going to attempt to intimidate everybody
Okay.
by
Mhm.
screaming with
Mhm.
primal bestial wrath
Mm-hmm.
and just start shoving food into his mouth.
I thought,
Rolling
I thought you were making a death pit like the people at the metal concerts that start shoving each other.
in. Time to mosh.
Creating a mosh pit.
Mhm. Roll intimidation. 17.
Quite intimidating.
As
Really?
your
It
howl
is.
goes up, everyone around you stops, and then they all join in. And the sound is unearthly, and anyone who wasn't part of this, who heard this, would shit themselves in terror as this horrifying cry goes up from all these monstrous creatures, and then you just start eating. And yeah. Gobble gobble, one of us. Meanwhile, still in the Starless market, the Lady Rowan does her Reaper, shadow step over to the rest of you lot and says, there's much to do to prepare for the wedding. Come with me. And she will make a gesture, and a doorway, the flagstones rise up and stack on top of each other, form an archway which fills with the same...
Diagonally.
Yeah, Diagon Alley style, and it fills with the mist that is floating around where her feet should be, but you can't see them because of her dress, if she even has them. And she gestures towards it.
Food, guys. Food. We have no food left. We have this big ass knife and an ass snake. Please, some sustenance.
I have a very bad feeling about
Allan, you're the tiebreaker. Surely the prospect of a proper kingly meal would appeal to you.
My appetite has disappeared, but I fear that I may disappear if I don't follow.
Ah, yes. Malnourishment
Allan?
will do that, you know.
For once,
Mm.
we are in agreement.
I think we must go forwards, but keep your wits about you.
All right.
Lady Rowan, your knight protector will be there shortly. He walks towards the portal.
Okay. And I feel like the three of you stepping in, followed by the red caps,
Well, they're fucked now.
is a fitting place for us to end the night.
Wow.
Oh Lord, what
Oh,
on
shit.
earth have we got ourselves into here?
Did you guys eat the food?
No, we haven't eaten
No.
the food yet.
Not yet.
And
You're eating the food though, right?
You're fucked, dude.
Dude, I want to eat the food
No.
though. Dude.
Don't
mean,
eat Fae food out
I
of character.
I-
Thoras wouldn't know this.
almost did the thing. I did in our previous couple arcs ago where I ended like an hour early. Do you guys want to keep going? Do you guys want to call it? I can, if we want to figure out what you do with the food or not, like we can do that now. I have a little more ready, but this just seemed like a very dramatic
This feels
point.
like a good ending point. We started at 6-ish,
Mhm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
feels like a good point because I feel like otherwise we're gonna get to a point where we don't want to stop because interesting things are happening.
Yeah, no,
Plus,
I
me and
agree.
Ashley are making beef stroganoff for dinner, you know?
Perfect.
Beef stroganoff. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
I'm
delicious.
Trying to make it from scratch for the first time ever, so we'll see how that
You're
goes.
gonna raise a cow?
Yeah.
Well, no.
In order to create an
I said I was
apple pie
gonna
from
make it from scratch, not that I was gonna like raise the animal to get the ingredients.
In order to invent an apple pie, you must first create the universe.
Thank
Who
you.
said
Thank
that?
you.
Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu,
thank you.
The Art of War.
None of
Checks
that
out.
checks out.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you made room
I
for
can't
your
believe you
brain.
haven't seen Labyrinth. Just my soul hurts.
To be fair,
Came out
I
in
had not seen
86,
Labyrinth until my
dude.
adulthood.
I've not seen.
What is wrong with you people?
I saw it once
I was
in
minus
maths
5
class
when it
when
came
I
out?
was 7.
When you were
I was
7.
1 when it came out. What do you want from me? But still.
I was watching Dragon Ball Z. I wasn't watching that shit.
So is Thoras just dead then?
No. No. That's not what happens when you eat fairy food. No. Not at all. Thoris is not dead. It's a lot
Is
more
he
fun.
so
than that.
You're like
nice to you,
enthralled
Thoras.
basically to a fae forever or something. Whatever.
I
She
mean,
was so nice
honestly
to you,
though,
Thoris. I can't blame you, man. Like,
here's the
I actually
thing.
don't know how
Thoras'
it works in Joe's universe, to be fair, but
Thoras'
that's
soul
like
has already been twisted in every direction. He's promised
basic fae
to.
fairy tales.
He was a champion of sin at one point, champion of the bloody sky people, champion of.
wait, you're a
who
champion of
else?
sin?
I mean, he gave me some fire giant blood. You know.
Whoa. That was like a one-time. That was like a one-night thing, man. Just because
Oh,
he
that
gave
was
you
the
some fire
fire,
giant
yeah.
blood doesn't mean that you're a champion. It's
Sin
like,
keeps
you're
calling
cool
me
and
back,
everything,
so.
Yeah. I've been leaving him on red, but he's
He
still,
also
you know,
just
he's still
told
hitting
me that I
up.
might have to kill you. So like,
Yeah, I've got the one flesh in me
champion.
apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's off
So,
corruption flows through your veins.
I think the general game plan is, because there's no real way to purge all of this, is that if eventually if I get enough people owning part of my soul, they'll have to fight over me. So
and then
maybe
you just
that's one
join the
way.
tournament and you win.
Yeah,
or they'll
exactly.
all just
It's a
try and kill
tournament
you
and
at
you
the
could
same
win
time and
yourself
decide you're not worth
back.
the trouble.
And each time you win a fight, you get more of yourself back, and this
Tournament
journey of
arc.
self-discovery just continues to expand your horizons and maybe your vocabulary.
Great. I
Yep.
don't even have to write Arc 5. It's doing it itself. It's awesome. Oh, Lord.
Oh man, all right. I mean, Eren's gonna eat the food if it's in front of him. I mean, he's about it.
It'll be fun.
Depends on well, presumably she would know enough of Huldra culture to know that a druid like Lysha wouldn't eat meat, so she'd tempt her with fruit and shit. So
She
Let's see if
knew
Lysha-
enough.
yeah,
Like, she knew enough to write custom invitations to each of you designed to play off exactly what would motivate your character. So she's done her homework.
yeah, that checks out.
All right.
All
We're fucked.
Yay! Thank you, chat, for the acts of God. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. We do have a stream tomorrow. It's a special mini-series, probably a mini-series, not a one-shot. That'll be at 6 o'clock as well. Wednesday, tomorrow, the 17th. Be there, be square.
We still haven't rested.
No,
Nope,
but
yeah.
you're about
But
to.
we will.
You're
Wait,
about
wait,
to.
what time
Okay.
are we doing the thing tomorrow?
Is 6 o'clock good for you?
6 o'clock? I think so. Yeah.
Brilliant.
For what, sorry?
So this is the Dark Tides of Bilgewater, the Legends of Runeterra thing that we're doing with a couple of folks. Yes.
Oh, can we do a little bit later? Wait.
What's the cast for that?
It is Rowan from is a HOTS player, and now he does, I believe he does Runeterra. Beatdown Casts, who's done a lot of Overwatch stuff, as well as TFT, maybe I think League as well. Bren and Doa.
Very good. That sounds interesting.
And
Can we push it back to 6:30?
Yeah, no, I'll push that around, and I'll put out an official tweet about it tomorrow, and I'll announce in Discord tomorrow at like 11 Pacific. So keep your eyes peeled. It's gonna be probably a 2-episode miniseries. And the Dungeon Master barely knows Runeterra lore, so God help us all. All right.
I don't know anything about it.
All right. GG.
Peace.
GG's.
Yeah.